يا مصريين، يا أردنيين، يا ليبيا، يا جزائر، يا تونس، يا مغرب، يا كل الشعوب العربية، يا كفار، يا عالم، يا عالم متنا من الجوع، يا عالم متنا من الجوع. افتحوا المعبر، الناس ماتت من الجوع، احنا متنا من الجوع يا عالم، يا عالم متنا من الجوع. وصي صوتنا يا عمي، متنا يا عالم من الجوع، يا عالم بكفي، يا عالم بكفي، والله العظيم بكفي.
Yo, what is up? What is going on? Salute to everybody in the building. I already see my baby, Angie Baby. Thank you for coming through as always, my #1 supporter. If you're here, please smash that like button. If you're new here, please smash the subscribe button. Democracy 101, we are part of the Pro Democracy Coalition, and we're trying to push this thing all the way to the top. So please support your brother. AC.
What's good, bro?
Salute, family. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Great day. Finally got some clarity on some stuff I was working on, and now I know how to structure stuff.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad my brother is structured, and he's and you figuring shit out in your mind. In your mind, excuse me. I got the hiccups. Forgive me. We're gonna try to get through this live together, family. But AC, and oh God, Jesus Christ, I've been dealing with these damn hiccups all goddamn day. No matter what I do, I drink water, I hold my breath, nothing is shaking this. But we're gonna continue on for the people. But AC, yesterday in your home city of New York, there was an election.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's a big time election for New York City mayor. We also had other statewide elections in other states. We had the governor's race in Virginia and New Jersey. The pollsters were saying that those races were going to be closer than they actually were. Some people thought that it might even be a 5-point race, or maybe could even come down to the final tally with New Jersey. Oh God, with New Jersey. But we're gonna stick to New York for a second.
For sure.
That man, Zoran Mamdani, the guy who I wish with everything I have that he was born in the United States of America. Because if he was born in the United States of America, AC, I know you might disagree with me, but I don't have a doubt in my mind this guy would be our next president of the United States. He's got the it. He's got that charisma, that Barack Obama type of charisma, where he could even have people on the other side smiling and laughing as he talks to them. He's just a normal human being. Like we've been dealing with fucking culture warriors for the past 2 or 4 years that have been coming to the top. So it's just good to see somebody who, at least from the outside, looks like a clean-cut, good human being, doesn't support Zionism, and he ran on an affordability platform. I'm going to play just a couple of Mamdani's highlights. By the way, salute to Angie Baby, also from New York. She's a Dominican from the Bronx. But I'm going to just play a couple of Mamdani's highlights.
Visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first? Left to right, Ms. Adams.
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Mr. Cuomo?
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani?
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel?
No,
as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
Notice.
As a state with equal rights.
He won't, he
Not
won't
as a
say it
Jewish
has a
state.
right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very
And
clear
his
on
answer
that.
was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that very
That's what he was
clearly.
trying
Unlike
to
you-
say.
No, unlike
No,
you, I
you
answered,
never-
unlike
you
you, I
never
answered
said
questions
no.
very
Okay.
directly.
All right.
My goal would be to take my first trip to Israel. My wife's life work in this area means a lot to our family, and it could coincide with my young son Miles' bar mitzvah, if you'd like that.
He's never done any of the essentials, and now you have Donald Trump on top of all of that, and he's never dealt with what I think is the greatest national threat that we face in this president. To put a person in this seat at this time with no experience is reckless and dangerous.
Mr. Mamdani. To Mr. Cuomo, I have never had to resign in disgrace. I have never cut Medicaid. I have never stolen hundreds of millions of dollars from the MTA. I have never hounded the 13 women who credibly accused me of sexual harassment. I have never sued for their gynecological records, and I have never done those things because I am not you, Mr. Cuomo. And furthermore, the name is Mamdani, M-A-M-D-A-N-I. You should learn how to say it because we got to get it right.
Yeah.
Well, he gonna have to say that shit now because that's that's his honor. That's the mayor of New York now, or at least the mayoral-elect Zohran Mamdani. I mean, through this campaign, AC, and I'm gonna come to you. It has just been some of the wildest fucking games of politics I have ever seen. Like AIPAC, they threw everything they could to try and stop this guy. They said, "Oh, he supports Hamas." Oh, look, he said globalize the Intifada, which just me, well, I'm not gonna speculate on what that means. He says, "Oh, he hates Jews." He ran on defunding the police. And all Zohran Mamdani did was lean into all of that shit. They said, "Oh, I support Hamas." No, I don't support Hamas. I condemn everything that happened on October the 7th. Oh, you don't believe Israel has a right to exist as a Jewish state? No, I believe in equal rights for all Palestinians, Muslims, Christians, and Jews in Israel. You're gonna tax billionaires. Oh, all these billionaires are gonna run to Florida. They're not fucking going anywhere. I'm just raising their taxes by 2%. Like he leaned into all of that shit. Then Eric Adams, who, and we're gonna get into some coonery later. We're gonna get into some international coonery later, AC. But Eric Adams, one of the biggest Sambos I have ever seen in my entire fucking life. The guy who is going to be the next ambassador to Saudi Arabia. The guy who took millions from Turkish billionaires. Then he comes out, drops out of the race at his master Trump's hest, and throws his support behind Cuomo. Cuomo is like, bro, Cuomo never had a chance from the start. Like, who did this Democratic establishment? I hope they learn a big fucking lesson after this. Cause wasn't that Hakeem Jeffries? He waited until like the last week of the election to throw his support behind Mamdani. Kathy Hochul, at an event they had in the capital, Albany, she was getting screamed at by Mamdani supporters to tax the rich. And she had to try and settle them down. But she knew, bro, this socialism wave, y'all motherfuckers wanted to come in here with the right wingers and all the fascism and all the nationalism. Y'all motherfuckers thought, oh, this is how the country really feels. We could just run on this shit now. Nah, that's not how it works. This shit of politics is a pendulum, and it constantly swings back and forth. And what happened with Biden is he was the extreme part of the immigration policy. He just didn't give a fuck. He let people ran through. He let people run through that border, and then as a result, motherfuckers started looking at the Democrats like y'all are the party of illegal immigrants. And eventually Excuse me. I'm gonna let you come in, AC, so you can give your reaction. And then eventually they went for the most extreme right wing person they could. They went for a motherfucker that launched an insurrection on the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? It was a middle finger to the Democratic Party and their establishment. This Mamdani win, not only is it a middle finger to Donald Trump, it's a middle finger to all the establishments. APAC, fucking the Republican establishment, the Democratic establishment, like I said earlier, all of them have got to wake the fuck up because this shit is coming, bro. The affordability crisis in this country is only gonna get worse. Okay, while fucking while this idiot subsidizes coal factories and oil companies and gets rid of fucking solar panels and windmills, our electricity bills are gonna go up. Fucking healthcare is going up every year in this country. Y'all keep fucking around and you're gonna get AOC in that White House. You're gonna get a real socialist in that White House. But AC, I'm gonna come to you. We're gonna get into the other results if I choose to do so. But what was your reaction? You from New York City yourself, obviously. What was your reaction to that boy Mamdani becoming the first Muslim mayor of New York City? AC. AC must have fell off a cliff, or he might be cooking. I don't know. But I see my brother Tony Reviews. Tony
It
Reviews,
was
how you doing?
I was having some issues with my mute button. I'm like, the fuck, man? Why can't I touch the mute button? And I already started talking. But I was saying it like this. When you
What before you go, AC, shout out to my brother Tony Reviews in the building. Good to see you, Tony. And shout out to my guy, the boxing scholar, Jay Gibson in the building. Salute to all you boys. Go ahead, AC. What's
I'm
your
gonna say it
reaction?
like this. Being a New Yorker and growing up, the early part of my life was spent being Muslim. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to Juma Friday every Friday. Went to Muslim school that was right there on Herkimer and Nostrand. It's like a little dead end block right there, and the masjid is right there. So there's certain things that Mamdani talks about that he'll describe himself as a socialist because that's just the way of Islam. Islam is basically like a socialist ideology because you have to remember even in Muslim countries there's still a king. So when you look at things like that, you kind of understand where he is to a certain degree, but then it's like, okay, I see where you're trying to tweak some of your political beliefs and merge them into policy alongside with your religious beliefs that Muslims objective, just like many Jewish people and many Christians at their core, is to do better for their fellow human being. You feel what I'm saying? So when he leans into these things, all right, cool. But as a person who's saying, okay, I see this is the popular talking point, but is there a real life alternative that actually benefits all of New Yorkers to where it really feels like New Yorkers are taking care of New Yorkers? We're all one big family. This is the big melting pot. You feel what I'm saying? So just doing one thing and trying to stick to that game plan because that's the most popular thing. I think there's a little tunnel vision there, and I'm just gonna say it like this. I'm a person that always wanted to be rich. I do not subscribe to any fucking body who's telling me, oh, rich people are this and rich people are that. Then shut the fuck up, because then you don't understand capitalism. I don't agree with some of the talking points about the border, because prior to the border, prior to COVID, we were actually having a crisis on farms. Where who are going to be these new farm workers? Because the other ones that were there for many years, they got old, they made money, they've some of them decided to branch out and get their own farms and things like that. So there was this crisis in farm workers. So who are most likely to be the USA's farm workers, hard laborers? Immigrants. So if we fuck around with immigration, then who is going to pick the farms? Look at the crisis that we have right now with our food supply chains, because there's no one to pick the shit. So at the end of the day, everything has to have a balance. Everything has to be weighed out and say, okay, this is the popular talking point, but are there other alternatives that might be more popular? So I just want to see what he does now. And for me, my experiment starts right now, because for me it was like, okay, everyone's talking about the socialist stuff. I myself know how socialism has fucked over the Black community since Roosevelt started implementing socialist policies, that Black folks just couldn't do it because of civil rights and other things. Police departments, fire departments, medical insurance, VA insurance, all of that kind of shit is basically socialistic policies. You feel what I'm saying? That Black people were not afforded to. So I'm kind of like, okay, show me this new socialism you're going to do, and show me how this new socialism is going to include and not be the thing that you can talk about, but when does it really affect the poor? How does it uplift the poor? How does it uplift the downtrodden? If I take that statement that's on the bottom of the Statue of Liberty, how does your socialistic policies make that thing true?
Well, listen, I agree. I don't agree with socialism whole. I don't think I agree with any political ideology in whole, but I do agree with a lot of his policies. Particularly, he says he wants to raise the income tax for highest earners by 2%. I mean, I don't think that that's anything backbreaking for the highest earners to have to pay, and he's guaranteed he's gonna give people in the, living in the city of New York free childcare. That's a socialist policy. I support that, but what I don't support because we were having the discussion the other day about free city buses. I'm not entirely 100% certain about that. I'm not entirely 100% certain about government subsidized grocery stores. Like you basically taking out your wood and screwing the other mom and pop stores that are around in the area, because now they have to compete with the government for customers. So I don't agree with everything Mamdani has said or ran on, but one thing is for certain: there is an affordability crisis in this country, and
Yes.
so, and he is somebody who speaks to that with his
Yeah.
socialist policies and ideology.
Now,
Now I don't think he's gonna be able to get through it with even most of this shit that he's proposing.
yeah, like he's probably going to get through maybe 20%. I'm a person that's on the side of making the buses free, because once you live here, and Angie Baby can attest to it, um, depending on the neighborhood, like let's say you live in Starlight City in the Bronx, right? The buses may work well for you because it's a lot of parkways and stuff like that, the Bruckner and all of this other kind of stuff. But if you live in Manhattan, you live in Harlem, you live in certain areas of Brooklyn, the buses are ineffective. You sit there and you wait and wait and wait, and then the buses come late, and then it's okay. Now there's 3 and 4 buses of the same bus line, and you sitting there like, okay, 2 of you are late and 1 of you are on time or either early. And then they tried to put up this little thing and then do this other stupid shit with the buses, to whereas we've got limited buses. And now you have to, instead of just using your straight up transfer on a Metro card, now you have to go to a machine, put your Metro card in the machine, get a little receipt that you don't have to show, unless the police jump on the bus and say, let me see everybody's receipt for for this bus. And it's like, okay, let's look at this from many different angles, right? How much paper are you wasting? How much power are you wasting? How much money did you waste by building that fucking machine? That my Metro card, all I have to do is put this shit right there in it, and guess what? My transfer is there. It automatically reads it. Subway to bus, bus to subway. But now you want me to stop at a stupid ass machine, and then you want to try to give me a ticket for it. I've seen people get beat up and shit like that, and get arrested because cops are like, no, you don't have this receipt. Yeah, but I still got my transfer. I don't give a fuck whether I got that receipt. I paid my fare when I got here. This is an extension to that. Oh, no. You're under arrest now for theft of service. And that's all it does. All that shit does, and all these little trickeries that MTA are doing are also ways that the city generate money through arrest, bails, and fines. So yeah, make MTA, since that's a legal arm to where the corruption of New York says this is how we're going to generate on the low money. Now you're going to take some of that away, because we have to pay for our cell phones, our cable lines. We have to pay a fee to MTA for that. And you mean to tell me you can't give me nothing
by the way,
back?
yes, sir. And by the way, I saw a story about MTA and some of the fees and fines that pile up on people, and then they put liens against people's property. I think that shit is crazy.
It's
But
bananas.
so yes, sir. But salute to my guy Tony Reviews. How you doing, Tony? Thank you for coming through, brother.
There we
Tony.
go. Yeah, there we go. My mic wasn't on. New York City is a shit city, and it's only going to get worse. It's been
God
going
damn, you
down here.
ain't say how you doing, Marky Dan. You don't say
Yeah,
what's up to your brother.
I said how
just
you
go
doing.
straight in.
I said how you doing. Then I immediately said New York City is a shit city.
All right, go ahead.
Most New Yorkers are done moved from New York. The only problem is see, this is the thing about it, right? When it comes to politics, I don't speak on politics, but I will keep it very vague. I'm gonna just say this. I grew up in New York. I was blue. I moved to the South. I realized how much cheaper, how much better the South was than the North. And I realized I was wrong. But the problem is the idiots from the North, they move to these southern states, they vote the same way, and then they fuck up the cities in the South. They make everything expensive, they raise the taxes, etc. No, the fact of the matter is this: nothing is free. It always has a cost to it. Socialism cannot be, it will never be successful because there is a cost. There is a price to pay for giving hand-me-outs to people who don't do shit, who don't deserve shit, and they get shit. I'm not talking about sick people. I'm not talking about old people. I'm not talking about disabled people. You have people who play the system to try to get hand-me-outs, and that's the issue, and nothing is free. Eventually, what ends up happening is you tax people who are already overtaxed. I don't care what you say. 1% of the U.S. population pays over 40% of the taxes. That's just the top 1%. I'm not even talking about the top 5%, 10%, etc. The top 1% pays 40% of all taxes revenue. And you're saying that they need to be taxed more? Ridiculous. The fact of the matter is you had too many people want to shit for free, and it ruins shit. And we're going to see what it does. But I guarantee you all your big business, all your industries, they're going to leave New York City. If the governor, because the governor of New York has to sign off on it. Mamdani can't do nothing on his own. He's got to have the governor sign off. But if she signs off and he gets his way, I guarantee you that city goes to shit very quickly. And it's not Cap, the boxing scholar. You go to any southern fucking city, it's cheaper. Compare. I mean, it's highly liberal. Now, Atlanta to New York City, it's not even comparison. Dallas, Houston. Austin is pretty much New York all over. But all the big fucking cities, Tony cool with food stamps being cut out. Like I said, I'm cool with food stamps being cut out to people who don't deserve them. If you're disabled, if you're retired, if you're old, if you're sick, okay. But if you're just lazy and you got 10 fucking kids, nah, I don't want to take care of you.
No, I'm going to say this, Tony. The biggest acceptors of free shit is corporations. That is a absolute fact. The biggest misconception is the 1% pays the highest in taxes. When you look at what their taxes are, once you reach those brackets, everything is a tax write-off. You said you have your own business, right? Through running your own business, you get so many tax write-offs. Like Jay-Z told everybody, the fastest way to become a millionaire is to incorporate yourself, the individual. He said it. I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man. So when you realize what can be taken, what you can get back. I buy a house, but I bought the house. I bought the house through my business, right? What happens is now I get a better write-off on the house. I get free shit to upgrade the house. I don't have to go through government grant programs to upgrade my house, because guess what? The house is not really mine. It's just an asset of the company. It's a complete write-off every year, every quarter. That's why rich people buy all of this property, because it's huge tax write-offs. And as the rich people buy the property, let's say they fix it up. What you've effectively done is, because you fix that house up, the property taxes go up. It forces those people, those poorer people in that same neighborhood, to now have to deal with rising costs, because it's the rich that are unbalancing the scale, because there is no more middle class. The middle class left sometime in 1989, 1990. So all I'm saying, bro,
but AC, let me hop on that.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
The fucking socialism, the welfare state is what kills the middle class. That's what's killed it. That's what's evaporated it. Is these politics that are being implemented is what kills it. Because here's the thing about it. All right, rich people, once you get to a certain level, you're always going to be rich. Okay, interest alone on your money can keep you afloat, even if you don't have businesses. The super wealthy are always going to have it. The poor are always going to be poor. It's the middle class that gets destroyed, and that's the problem. Whenever, like, I'll give you a small example of like what they like to do. When minimum wage gets raised, right, for low-end, low-skilled work, when that gets raised, it's not the rich people that get hurt by it. It's the middle class, because as their wage goes up, not everything gets more expensive. But here's the problem. Minimum wage may get raised, but middle class wages stay the fucking same. So it destroys the middle class to where you have the rich and the broke. That's what it comes down to.
No, I
The
agree
rich
with you
and the
1,000%
broke.
on that. And I was completely against Bernie Sanders and everyone who's talking about raising the minimum wage of a McDonald's worker to $15. I asked the question, since when the fuck was McDonald's a job that you can raise a family on? It was a job that was for kids when I grew up, probably when Tony grew up and Marky grew up. These were jobs we did in high school, at our summer vacations, Christmas vacations. When the fuck did these jobs become the type of job that you're now saying it's a job that many people are using to raise their family? Well, if that's your idea of a job that's going to raise your family, then I don't know who you are. And I completely I disagree with it, because I saw how that $15 minimum wage thing for fast food workers, I saw how it immediately impacted the restaurant industry, to whereas a lot of people in the middle class, guess what career they chose? A lot of them chose hospitality, restaurant workers, waitresses, and shit like that. So yeah, there is an argument there, but other parts of it, like I said, everything has to have a balance. Everything has to have a balance. And yes, the $15 wage sounded really good, but look at the damage it's done, because an unskilled worker, right? There are factories, there are parks department jobs, okay? There are jobs, all other kind of jobs. But a fast food job, you're talking about the most unhealthy food on the planet, right? You're talking about the most unhealthy food on the planet. You're talking about jobs that once AI really gets online and automation gets online, between fast food workers and beat cops, you're going to be the first to go. And along with receptionists
I mean, they're
and
pretty much already gone. Like I went to I went to Boston maybe a year ago, and I walked into a Taco Bell, and the employees, like, they didn't even talk to me. They just pointed me to like a big ass box that
kiosks.
had like computer terminals that I punch in my order in. So I mean, that shit is pretty much already done for them. But I do agree. I don't agree with every aspect of socialism. I will say I don't agree with no $15 minimum wage increase for a bunch of burger flippers. And I say that respectfully. If you got a job and you're not out there doing the wrong thing, good for you, brother. But nah, you made the decision not to take school seriously. You made the decision not to go to trade school. If the only thing you're able to do is get a job at McDonald's, you do not deserve to make $15 an hour. Like, that's just fucking insane. Like, you need to like, I think respectfully a fair rate, and anybody could feel however the fuck they want to feel. I think a fair minimum wage is $9.99. And then, my nigga, like, if you gotta get a second job or a third job, you gotta figure that out. But I don't agree with $15 minimum wage. Like, that's just that's unsustainable for a business to have that big a jump in their labor costs. So
Bro,
absolutely not. But what
listen.
I am gonna disagree with what Tony said. I'm gonna disagree with one thing Tony said. He said the welfare state killed the middle class. I disagree. FDR creating the welfare state is what created the middle class after the
Yeah.
fucking Great Depression. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ruled, like, he took he brought electricity to or what's the number? I think over 90% of the US was just nothing but farms and rural land. And he put electricity through all that shit so they could start buying refrigerators and radios, and they could become consumers, like Social Security, all that shit. That helps motherfuckers survive. Like, I can't be entirely against the welfare state. And then on top of the fact, what? And I know y'all gonna probably say I'm a bleeding heart liberal, but I think, yeah, I know. I think everybody deserves health care. I think every fucking body deserves health care. I know AC has told me in the past he thinks if you got a job, you need to figure it out yourself. I think if you get hit by a car and one of your ribs is stuck in your fucking lungs, I think that you should the government should pay for that procedure. Like, I don't
Okay.
think the government just has a responsibility to provide justice and
All right.
security. Like,
So
I think
let me hop
healthcare
back
should be
in.
one of those things.
Let me hop back
And
in
I
real
think
fast.
if we raise the taxes on the wealthy in this country, now I'm not asking for an FDR 90% income tax on the wealthiest. I'm just asking for 40%. That's all I'm asking. I'm not
Bro,
asking
that's
for
fucking
everything.
ridiculous. That is
40%. Y'all
that's
are paying
nah,
37% right
man.
now.
So here's my question for you. What
Uh,
makes you think? Here's my question for you. What makes you think because I'm more successful than you, I deserve to pay more than you? It's not my fault that you're not as
because you
successful as
make
I
more than
am.
me.
Why should success be punished? That's my question for you.
Well, what do you mean? Why should success be punished? It's not about punishing you. You're a
It
part
is
of the
about punishing
society,
you.
and you
No, no,
bring
no,
in.
no,
Oh,
no,
hold on, hold
no,
on
no,
a
no, no,
second.
no, 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 no,
No,
no.
no, no, no. That's not a punishment.
It is
That's
a
your
punishment.
duty to the
No, no, no,
society.
no. It's not a duty to anything. First off and foremost, it's not a duty to nothing. What you're doing is you're punishing success. That's what your mindset is. Because you are more successful than me, I think I should take something from you.
And so fuck everybody else.
Wait a minute. How is it fuck everybody else? You have the same opportunity to
Because
be
my
just as
point.
successful.
Yeah, but my whole point is you said something a second ago about food stamps.
I
The
didn't say nothing
reality
about food
is
stamps.
some of the
I didn't mention food stamps at all.
Yeah, well, no, you did. You said you're okay with food stamps being taken away from
No, I
people
did
that are
not.
lazy as shit.
No, I did
No, no,
not.
no, but hold on. Hold on. Let me say what I'm saying, Tony.
Well, I was
A
kind of talking and
program
you
like SNAP,
interjected over me.
huh?
You said let you talk, but I was kind of making a point and you interjected over me.
All right, man. Okay, make your point. Go ahead.
I know you a fascist and you like to control everything.
Oh, jeez.
But here's what I'm saying. I want to answer a question too.
You're a goddamn racist.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, to the aircraft carrier. The reason why I said the poor stay poor is because when you like just on a simplistic level, when you raise the minimum wage, right? The inflation caused by that keeps them poor. Their wage increase does not outpace the increase of the product. Now the product becomes even more expensive. So the gap between what they should be having and what they actually have is actually worse off. So that's why they stay poor, because it just puts them in a deeper hole, because economically it doesn't balance out. Furthermore, as I was saying, Marky, I just, here's my thing, right? There's some Republicans I agree with, some I disagree with. There's Democrats that I like and Democrats that I don't like. I think nobody should be adherent to one party. It should be by the views per the individual, because there's idiots on every side.
Right.
But what I will say is, I will never, ever believe in punishing the successful. And it is a punishment, because what you're saying is, Marky, if you ever became super successful and now you created something and you're worth billions of dollars, now you should be punished for being worth billions of dollars, to where you pay 20% more than everybody else on your taxes. Now, what's that 20% more equivalent to in $1 billion? Now you're paying as much money in taxes as hundreds of thousands of people combined.
So can I come in with this real quick, Tony?
Hold on. One second. Salute to my guy, Boxing Scholar, and Just Ask Juan. How both of y'all doing?
What's good with you? What's good with you, G? Yeah, you know how I come through, show some love and shit. You know how I go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But basically, I wanted to
Yeah,
to
go
try to,
ahead. Go ahead, AC. I'm gonna get
I'm
Juan's
gonna keep
reaction.
it real short so
Go ahead.
the other guys could come in and cook. Basically, I'm gonna say it like this. I remember the Gordon Gekko era, and that was a real thing because of that movie that came out starring Bud Fox and Gordon Gekko, right? When we were going through the .com and the tech boom in the 80s, right? This was the beginning of these hedge funds, and when Wall Street just went out of control and everything. But if you truly remember, prior to the Gordon Gekko era, when greed was good, you remember that many rich people, some of the most wealthiest people, were also known as the most prolifical, or if that's the word I'm looking for, philanthropists. They had all of this money. What you got an idea? You got a concept? Okay, here's some money for that. You got an idea? You got what you want to raise my taxes? Okay, cool. I got more than enough money that you could do some stupid shit like that. It doesn't really affect me because it's better for America. But when the Gordon Gekko era came in and greed was good, then everything became a problem. And to Tony's point of talking about how certain policies fucked over the middle class. I was a kid that was, when I went to Long Island to stay with my family in Long Island, they were the epitome of the middle class family. They were the epitome of it. A mom, pop in a household, 2-point whatever kids and blah, blah, blah. My aunt, uncle were the epitome of it. And they brought me into that because my father was like, I want you to see something different. I want you to experience a different school system and stuff like that. But as the Gordon Gekko era grew and greed became the number one thing, you started finding yourself with less philanthropy, less people looking to invest. Now you moved the goalpost of where all I needed was a solid business plan, X amount of years in that field that I'm looking to get a loan in to start my mom and pop business. Back then, the credit score was like 525, no more than 540. Now all of these people are talking about you need a 7-something credit score. That's damn near perfect to do anything. And they're trying to even move it into the fact that if you want to rent a regular apartment, we got to do a credit background check. Get the fuck out of here. That's discriminate. That's housing discrimination.
Hey, AC, I'm about to hop off, but I want to say this. Politics aside, the biggest financial burden on every individual, whether you're rich, middle class, or poor, is the fucking interest rates. You get rid of the crooked interest rates, everybody
I agree with you, Tony.
It's
as
the
a business
banking
owner,
system.
you're absolutely right.
Like, think about this. If you buy a $500,000 home, let's say you do a 30-year loan on a $500,000 home, by the time you paid back the money, you damn near spent double it. You've almost paid for $1 million home. There is no reason why the bank should be allowed to pretty much grape you like that over money. There should be a set interest rate, whether it's 5%, 10% of the actual purchase. But interest rates aren't like that. They're recurring. So every month you pay that interest on whatever's left on that total amount. And it's ridiculous. It's what has ruined the whole country is straight up interest. You fix the banking, you fix the interest rate, and everything else will get cheap.
Well, who has a higher interest rate? You think Warren Buffett or myself?
By percentage, by actual totality amount, Warren Buffett by far.
So Warren Buffett would make the argument that you made a while ago. Well, why should I be punished for being rich? Why should you do anything for the middle class? He should get like me, not me get like him.
No, you're missing what I'm saying, the boxing scholar. Right now, Warren Buffett, right? Percentage-wise, pays less than you. But in real empirical dollars spent, you'll never even make what he pays in interest. So again,
I know.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Hold on, boxing scholar.
Hold on. Let me finish because I'm about to get off. It goes like this, the boxing scholar. If there was a set amount, let's say you buy a home, regardless of amount. Let's say we'll go back to the $500,000, right? The house costs $500,000, or business building $500,000. Just easy math. And the set interest was only 10%, regardless of what your income was. You're only paying $50,000 over a 30-year loan. That's how you fix it. That's how you make it affordable. That's how you have people have more money. Credit cards, interest, retarded. Again, you fix the interest rate for every individual to where they can't grape you, and everybody's money goes longer. Houses used to cost nothing because the interest was so low. Cars used to cost nothing because there was no interest. Interest has fucked up everything. That's the problem, in my opinion. But on that note, I'm out.
Good point.
So I mean, Marky Dan, you should have just let me cook, man.
And salute to my guy Tony. Yeah, boxing scholar. Go ahead.
You
Give me your
should let me
reaction.
cook, Marky Dan. I know racism when I see it, brother. And that was racist. You know, you cut me off and let that man explain proportionality.
Him, bro. Scholar, why you like this, man?
Brother, I just got to call it like.
Please get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Jump into it. Sam, there's no. Jump into this, you idiots. Jump into it. Aggressively. Aggressively.
Boss.
Aggressively.
Oh my God.
Aggressively. Run into it. Stupid boy.
Yeah, we're gonna
Marky Dan, you have the world's longest drops ever, bro.
You want to jump in?
Yo, that was longer than the commercials at the movie theaters.
Scholar, now who made you like this, son? Who made you like this, son? Because they
Man, eat a dick, bitch. How about that?
Oh my! You eat my fucking big balls, nigga.
How about that?
How you like that, scholar?
Yo, that is funny.
Scholar? How about that?
My client, the Honorable Henry T. Fleming, should go right to fucking jail. The son of a bitch is guilty.
All
Jesus.
those are directed at boxing scholar.
Jesus Christ, man.
But my brother, my Puerto Rican brother, who is not a fascist like boxing scholar below me, what's your reaction to what went down in, I assume your hometown in New York City?
Nah, I'm from Boston. I don't know what happened in New York. What happened in New York? I haven't been watching the news today.
Zohan
Mamdani won the
Mamdani.
election.
Yeah, Zohan won. I don't know if you know that individual.
I mean, I don't know because my wife's family's from New York, so I don't know how they reacted to certain things. I know that I'll probably hear it during the weekend, but from what
Hey,
I know,
hey,
they
salute to
really
my
didn't
boy
want him.
34. Salute to my boy, no evidence 340. Salute, pop. Go ahead, Juan.
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah. From before what I know, they didn't want him there. So I don't know. I'm guessing it's a bad thing. Again, I don't live in New York, and I'm not from New York, so I really don't
No,
know
it's the best
what's.
thing. It's one of the best things that happened in New York because
Yeah,
we got rid
but
of two corrupt ass politicians that were ready to kiss Donald Trump.
Very, very corrupt. Very corrupt.
I mean, but the thing is though, I feel like in politics and we gonna, I'm probably gonna get a lot of slack for this, but in politics, everybody's kind of corrupt. So it's either you could take the worst of it or you could take the less worst of it, whichever way it goes, it goes. Because all these politicians want to do is just fatten their pockets and find a way to help themselves, not not the country, not the state, not whatever the case may be. If the
But
case may
that's
be,
the thing about Mamdani though, and that's the reason why he has so
Hold,
much
hold on, brother.
energy
Let that
behind.
man finish. Mikey, Dan, don't do that. Don't do that. You
I
keep
can do
pursuing
that.
with
This
that
is my
racism.
show. This is my show, nigga.
Hold
This is
up.
my
You
show.
keep pursuing.
I can do that. I can do that.
look,
I can do
let
that.
him do that.
What's
Let him
wrong
do
with this
him.
nigga?
Let him do him. V. I'm just
No,
scrolling the
I was
world.
gonna let. I'm gonna let you keep cooking one. I was just gonna say
Yo, that
like
sounds
that's
like a
the thing.
dictator. You say this your show?
Jump into it. Sam, there's no. Jump into this snap, you idiots. Jump into it. Aggressively. Aggressively.
Boss.
Aggressively.
Ah, my God.
Aggressively. Run into it.
How many more times you gonna have
That's
you
a
do this,
fool.
brother?
He just called my boy Jing Markey. That's crazy.
Hey, that got a ring to it. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Bunch of goddamn racists.
But no, Marky, check this out. Check this out. This is what I was going. This is what I'm surprised you didn't catch up on, Marky. Then, because me and you have a bunch of political talks. Tony was missing the forest for the trees, right? Like he kept saying, the cost of living used to be so higher. He kept discussing inflation, but one thing that drove all of that was corporate greed. Like they like the economy was literally wrecked in New York, literally Wall Street.
Yeah.
And John Stewart interviewed Larry Summers, which used to work on the Federal Reserve, and he asked him why did they give money to the people? And you know what he said? We can't reward bad behavior. But what about the people with the predatory lending practices? Why would you reward them? And then they gave them money and borrowed it back at an interest rate, our own United States government. And the idea that the people is the problem, food stamps. You can literally take like a third of the bailout money and fund food stamps up for like 7 to 10 years, and we don't even have to worry about it. It's on the house. Everybody could get free food stamps if we if we took some of that's them subsidies and corporate money that we're passing out hand over fist. I would never ever look at the people that are up under the 99%. And say that they're the problem for anything. Because we know it's the 1%. They're trying to literally replace our jobs. Like these are facts.
Yeah, that's what I was speaking to earlier when I was trying to just enlighten the audience and everything of saying, listen, the biggest contributors of welfare are the corporations.
Hey, AT, get your final take on this. Boxer Scott, get your final take. Then we got to move on to the next subject.
Yeah. No, that was my final take. That was my final take. I don't blame poor people. I don't blame the middle class. I blame corporations. I blame the Gordon Gekko era of greed is good.
Okay, let me get my final take on this, Marky Dan. So during the election, we talked about this, and I had a bunch of people on my panel that were business owners. And I used to always tell them, like, bro, why are you associating yourself with the 1%? You're not making over $400,000 to even get the tax break that you're voting for with Donald Trump. Like, you've been lied to, basically. You're a small business owner. You're not in the 1%. I know one day you have hopes of getting there, and that's the goal, but you're not there yet. And I feel like everybody, because of this corporate greed and runaway corporate greed, everybody thinks they're a business owner, right? I've even had people who made a couple bucks in the stock market and start giving me tips on stocks, and it's like, bro, you're not a broker, bro. Like you got lucky on Robinhood. That does not make you a stockbroker now. But everybody has this business mentality in America because business has been successful, and Rich, we tend to mimic success. So people think that they're business owners to the degree of the 1%, but they're not. They don't even know. That's a completely different ball game. Like they talk, like unless you can pick up the phone and call your congressman and have him come meet with you, you're not even in the same breath. You know what I mean? And if we're gonna focus solely on that 1% and talk, they need to pay more taxes. When Tony broke it down, he was explaining proportionality. I get that. I know that Warren Buffett's 10% is not going to be the same as my. It's going to be more than my 30%. But the fact that Warren Buffett makes so much more than me and he's only paying 10% is the problem. Warren Buffett is on record saying that his cleaning lady.
And that's the problem I had with Tony. Because I'm not looking to increase taxes by an FDR rate up to not for the highest earners up to 90%. I'm just looking for 40%.
Well,
that's all I'm looking for. But Tony in his mind thinks that that's too far gone. He thinks that's punishing the wealthiest people.
But I was just going to say, go ahead.
And my bad. Yeah, go ahead, Boxer Scholar, then we can move on.
No, I was just going to come in with this real quick, but we have to just remember that is the mentality. Because Tony, I don't know what part of New York he grew up in, but that's like the mentality of the Black conservatives. Because I faced that type of mentality when I was in high school from some of my friends' parents of having political conversations with them and some of their kids. Like we would get into these type of debates and stuff like that because once certain people made it, and they made it to the wealthiest part of Westbury. Now, Westbury is truly one of the places in New York where the richest people actually live. When you talk about Old Westbury, which is still in Westbury, that you're talking about millionaires and billionaire real estate. It's a roadway that in mostly every hood, it's usually that one roadway that cuts everybody off from one side to the other. But again, at the end of the day, you're talking to a full-blown, acceptant Black conservative. Now, there used to be a place for this guy, for that type of guy, and it used to make for great political conversation. But where we are today, that attitude may be a little passé.
Agreed. It's dated because they used to actually have real. I mean, conservative means conservation. That means they wanted to save monies, wasteful spending and stuff like that. But they don't even have a legitimate viewpoint anymore because you look at the stuff that they're in favor of and it's wasteful spending. You're like,
it's
wait
passé.
a minute.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely. I wanted
Juan,
to
you got any? Go ahead, Boxer Scott.
let me just. I'm gonna follow up with this, Marky. I was gonna say this. You know, Warren Buffett is on record saying this. He said that he pays less in taxes than his cleaning lady, and
he fell off some steps.
It sounded like Boxer Scholar had one of the Boxer Scholar clones walk up to him while he was talking. But Juan, you got any final words on this topic, on socialism, on the New York City race before we move on?
Nah, I ain't got none.
All right, man. Then we're going to move on to a much more, in my mind, serious topic. So out in Tennessee, I think it's called Polk County out there in Tennessee, a man was arrested and held in jail for 37 days for putting up a Trump meme. I'm not shitting you. This man was arrested and put in jail for over a month for a Trump meme. And I'm going to play it right here. Well, first, let me show you. This is what he put up there. This person by the name of Larry Beauchart. And yeah, I'm going to play the news report so y'all can get more background. Then I'm going to get your reactions.
That breaking news, a Tennessee man jailed for more than a month for posting a President Trump meme is now free.
Yeah, of course, this comes one day after an exclusive News Channel 5 investigation raised questions about this case. Thanks for being with us. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. We shared that story last night right here at 6. And now prosecutors dropped those charges against Larry Busshart today as our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams, was continuing to dig up new information.
This all went down suddenly today in Perry County, southeast of Nashville. Local radio station WOPC was there when Busshart walked out of jail after 37 days behind bars.
How do you feel right now?
thanks to all and any supporters out there, and very happy to be going home. I didn't seek to be a media sensation, but here we are. But yeah, that's about all I can say right now.
Now, Phil, you spoke to Mr. Busshart's wife shortly after those charges were dropped. What did she have to say?
Yeah, that's right. She was on her way from her home in Lexington to pick up her husband at the Perry County Jail, and needless to say, she was ecstatic. She says she believes it was our interview with Perry County Sheriff Nick Weems that changed everything. That's the meme that he posted, correct?
That looks like it, except this part was blurred out. The face.
This is the meme at the center of the controversy. A quote from Donald Trump, "We have to get over it," which the image notes was what the president said about the Perry High School mass shooting one day after, a reference to a tragedy in Perry, Iowa. But Larry Bussart was arrested last month and locked up on a $2 million bond after some in the community somehow claimed it was a threat to shoot up Perry County High School.
That led people to believe in our county that he's talking about Perry County High School, because it doesn't say Iowa either.
But you also knew this was an existing meme that was already out there on the internet.
Correct.
And so it's clear he's not talking about Perry County High School.
We knew. The public did not know.
Sheriff Weems had also told us that Perry County asked local police in Busshart's hometown of Lexington to go talk to him, let him know the fear his post was causing, and ask him to take it down, and that Bussart had refused.
You know, parents just want to send their kids to school without being afraid that they'll get shot. I mean, what kind of person does that? What kind of person just says he don't care?
Is there a Mr. Larry that lives here? It is. I had spoken with a Perry County investigator. They wanted me to come speak with him about something. Okay.
But News Channel 5 Investigates had just obtained this video from that encounter a few hours before Bussart's arrest, and the Lexington police officer seemed to have no idea why a Perry County investigator had asked police to pay a visit to the progressive Facebook warrior.
He had just called me and said that there was some concerning posts that were made on Facebook. On Facebook, yes, sir.
And they sent you guys.
They did. They wanted me to come make contact with you and let you know that they may be in contact with you and see if you still live here. I don't know exactly what they're referring to.
I knew. Charlie Kirk.
Well, I don't know.
Bussart had posted the meme to suggest people were more concerned about Charlie Kirk's murder than they were about school shootings. But the video shows the officer never mentioned any concerns about a school.
They said that something was insinuating violence.
No, it wasn't.
And like I said,
I'm not going to take it down. Go look.
I don't care. This ain't got nothing to do with me.
You got that rolling. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Bussart's wife told me she planned to take her husband out for a nice dinner tonight since he's been eating jail food for the last 37 days. Unfortunately, because of all of this, he has lost his job as a medical driver. This is probably not the last we're going to hear.
Okay, so y'all heard it right there. That gentleman by the name of Larry Bussart, who, by the way, he's a former police officer himself. This man, I went to his Facebook page, and he posts a lot of these types of memes. You know what I'm saying? That poke fun at right wingers and that go at Trump and that side of the political spectrum. So after Charlie Kirk, and y'all know who Charlie Kirk is. I don't have to explain who that individual is. After Charlie Kirk was unfortunately assassinated, he made the decision to repost this meme, which is a quote of what Donald Trump said after a high school in Iowa was shot up. And this is a quote from Donald Trump. "We have to get over it." After a high school full of kids was shot up. And so this man poking fun at the Charlie Kirk grievers who are going to a vigil for Charlie Kirk, which, by the way, the same day Charlie Kirk was unalived, a school in Colorado was shot up by a right-wing neo-Nazi. Just putting that out there for information, for y'all information. So he makes the decision to put this meme up to poke fun at those people going to the vigil, essentially saying, quoting Trump and saying, "We have to get over it." And as a result of that,
that sheriff who I can't remember his name, so I'm not gonna lie to you. That sheriff made the decision to contact some investigators in this man's county where he lives and had him arrested for in because some parents were saying that that's a threat, that you're threatening a school down the road that has the exact same name as that school that was shot up in Iowa. So as a result of that, they arrested this poor man. They took him down to the jail. They held him there for 37 days, and the judge gave him a $2 million bond because they were trying to charge him with making terroristic threats against a school. And it's bullshit. Like, it's just pure bullshit. Even that interview that reporter was having with the sheriff, and the
Yeah, he
sheriff
was.
is like, "Who says something like that? The
Yeah, he was
president of the
struggling.
United fucking States said it." That's all the man did. He quoted the president of the United States, and he gets thrown in jail for a month. So I'm gonna kick it to AC. Then I'm gonna come to you on for your reaction.
My fault.
I'm gonna
But
keep it. I'm gonna,
people,
go ahead.
people, y'all, people need to be very vigilant that this is happening in our country. That people are getting arrested for political expression, and this motherfucker is up there talking about I got rid of free speech. He's saying that. They're going to the Supreme Court to rehear that burning the flag case. So
So
please remain vigilant
I'm
to what's going on.
I'm
AC,
gonna
you go
say it
ahead.
like this. I'm gonna say it like this. The crazy part is the 7 police officers, or 5 of them, 5 or 7, I don't remember the exact number, but the police officers who were also ambushed and killed that day that Charlie Kirk was unalived. No one wants to talk about those guys, but yet they're a whole sector of saying we back the blue. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the way I look at it like this is, from the sheriff to the DA to the judge to the warden of that prison to the state mayor, governor, you dudes are going to pay me, and pay me extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the bottom line, because there's this thing in this country called freedom of speech. It's the First Amendment to the Constitution. It's even the first thing that you read in the USA Bill of Rights. So at the end of the day, that is my fucking right as an American, to have freedom of speech, to speak truth to power. And if all I did was a meme, I'm finding myself maybe one of the most highest profile lawyers in this country, and we are going to rape that city clean, to the point where my entire county, people may get upset, but every head of state, every head in my county that co-signed and didn't go to the jail to get me out, every last one of you dudes are going to be replaced, if not impeached. So it just shows the loyalty that was there for Donald Trump, because that's what it all boiled down to: a bunch of loyalists who showed no regard of the law, including a judge.
Yep.
Who showed no regard for the law and locked that man up, knowing you had no basis. The DA, that is not a basis. You can tell me, but now it causes a federal investigation, not a local. School properties are federal for the most part. So at the end of the day, bro, I'm about to get rich. I'm like, yeah, I'm chilling right now.
Yeah.
If y'all niggas ain't resigning in a minute, every day you're not resigned, I'm going up by $5 million in my lawsuit.
Yeah, if I were him, when I walked out of that jail, I would have been crying. I would have messed up my beard to look crazy and disheveled. I would have tried to make it look like I had PTSD, like I just came from being captured by the Taliban. And then on top of the fact, so he could get them damages for for pain and suffering. But on top of the fact, AC, the man lost his job. He lost his job as a medical truck driver. So he's gonna get damages. But I'm gonna come to you, Juan. Juan, what's your reaction, my Puerto Rican brother? What's your reaction to this gentleman, Mr. Bushart, being arrested simply and put in jail for over a month simply for
Yeah.
posting a meme about Trump?
How does Stephen A. Smith's nephew say it? We rich. You know what I'm saying? That's all we rich. Nah, that ass, son. We rich, bro. I mean, again, when we talk about stuff like this, and I'm not gonna jump on forward like you guys just did. One, right? The guy that unalived Mr. Kirk. If some of you don't know, well, you'll know now. He is a MAGA supporter. He was a MAGA supporter. His family is a MAGA supporting family.
Yes, they were.
You know what I'm saying? So for you to see the way that these guys react for somebody of a stature of Charlie Kirk, which again, I didn't believe in his rights, but nobody deserved to, be unalived like that.
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational.
But like I said, like these guys.
Yeah, my bad, Juan. Keep going. I just wanted to remind people of that idiot. Good.
But like I said, he didn't deserve to die that way. But again, it was the way that God chose him to. So now we have this whole issue with this guy right here, right? He was wrongfully, because it is wrongfully, arrested and put in jail for 37 days. Then you have, like my man says, you have the Constitution that says the first thing, you have freedom of speech. My boy, you rich. At that point, you rich. They can't say nothing to you. There's nothing there that you can't say that, yo, this is a wrongful arrest. This is a wrongful arrest. How many times haven't we seen a wrongful arrest in our own neighborhoods and nothing gets done about it? Now this is getting news coverage. This is probably going to get more news coverage than it's going to get. There's getting now. He's rich. That man is rich. All right. He is rich. Like you said, he's going to find a great attorney and he's going to get rich because you know why? Because you gave me a wrongful arrest. 1, 2, you made me lose my job. You know what I'm saying? And 3, you had no rights standing on no rights to arrest me because what I posted or what I said. All right, cool. So now at that point, you're rich, man. You're rich. So that's all I have for that because it's at that point, man. This country is it's so weird and it's so stupid. I just want to say it like that. It's stupid because we glorify one thing, but then we put a blind eye to another.
No, absolutely, Juan. Very well said. This gentleman right here is gonna get paid. That's not even a doubt.
Hey, yo, somebody make a skit. We rich, cause we rich, boy.
No, he gonna walk. No, he finna go to that. He finna go to that judge like this, man. He gonna go to that judge like that black construction worker went to that Mexican construction yard after Bud whooped on Canelo. That man walked up and said, "Pay me my dinero."
Yeah, that ass, bro, because he's we rich at this point. Hey, man, like it's just I don't know, bro. Like I feel like are you good, bro? I feel like when we talk about certain things in certain situations like this, even with like out here, we had so many killings and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna be like, oh well, it's their violence. But when it happens, to be somebody from a law enforcement or something that stupid that law enforcement did, oh, it's quick. They're quick to try to cover it up. So I hope the guy gets rich, and I'm hoping that he's compensated for what he had to suffer through. Because again, like you said, I would have came out the damn thing fucking looking like the Taliban and Bin Laden took me himself. Like the fuck out of here.
He gonna be playing that song. Just got paid Friday night. Party jumping.
Yo, dead ass, bro.
Feels
Yo,
so
dead
nice.
ass, bro. Yo, somebody play I Got Money by 50 Cent, because that's the song that's gonna happen, bro.
Exactly, bro. So at the end of the day, I'm happy he's finally released. I'm happy he's back with his family. Um, you know, it's just one of those things that boggles my mind that companies or groups like the ACLU, why weren't they quick to jump on this, or did they have a role in helping to release this man? So it
No,
just
I
still
think
leaves.
it was the news coverage more than anything. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
and it's just like with groups like that, you sometimes you'll ask yourself, okay,
Because once the heat started getting applied, the DA just dropped the charges completely.
yeah,
Because let's really be honest. Let's say if they went to go to to court, right? And let's say that somehow, some way they find him guilty and he gets sentenced or whatever the case may be that he gets.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, right? Then they go. Let's say he goes to, all right, cool. I'm going to another judge and I'm getting appeal, but this time I'm gonna get a news coverage. You know how fast the national news would have picked this up, just if they had gone to that
yeah.
extent.
No, absolutely.
Really think about it. Like, imagine that. Like, it's like, bro, what? What are you really? Because he said something that the president said himself.
And that's the scary fucking part about it. Like, and this Sheriff Nick Weems, I'm gonna call him Sheriff Fascist. He needs to get the fuck up out of here.
Sheriff
Cause
Nickelback. That's what I'm gonna call him.
You're an American law enforcement officer. The first, like AC was just saying, the first thing when you look at the Bill of Rights, the first thing when you look at the Constitution, which he swore an oath to uphold, is the First Amendment. It's
Come
freedom
on.
of speech and freedom of expression. And you thought you and whoever this DA was that brought these charges, y'all actually thought you were gonna get through with this? You need to get the fuck up out. You need to lose your job, bro. You do not need to be in that position. For that thought, because I don't understand your thought process.
Yeah,
Whatever thought process you got is like AC was saying. You're a loyalist.
yeah.
Okay, you don't like that oath you took to the Constitution. You wiped your ass with that shit every morning.
Mm-hmm.
This man need to get the fuck up out of there. But AC, you got any final thoughts on this? Then I'm gonna go to Juan. Then we gonna move on to the coonery.
My final thoughts on it is, this case right here, although many are not talking about it, this is the new free speech precedent case. To whereas it states this: can a meme that has a quote based on someone else, or just quoting what a politician said, is that now a form of inciting a riot? Is that a form of a terroristic act or terroristic threat? Because if you take that, then you got to go back to what Trump said. You got to go back what Josh Hawley said. You got to go back to things that Marjorie Taylor Greene did when she was going after the Texas, not Jasmine Crockett, but the former Texas chick or the former politician who was homeless. And then she became a politician, and Marjorie Taylor Greene has got the little chute, her little mail chute open, like, why don't you come out? What are you afraid of? That's a terroristic act, miss.
Bruh. You don't remember Marjorie Taylor Greene came into politics, or she got her introduction to the big national spotlight of politics because she was a part of a plot to unalive Barack Obama. Like, that's an actual fact.
Yeah.
Like, that is a fact. She was a part of a Facebook group that they were talking about unaliving Michelle Obama and Barack Obama.
And she made it to be a politician that people in her area voted her in. I think if you do shit like that, you feel what I'm saying? And I know this is going to be extremely extreme. But if you're caught before you actually run for office, you're caught making these type of terroristic threats where you're talking about extremism, before you get into politics, you can never ever run for politics. No matter what, if somebody pulls it up, if it's a comment you
But
say,
now you violating 1A, AC.
no, it's not. Listen, freedom of speech stops when you make threats to cause someone bodily harm. That's not freedom of speech.
What is a threat? Because that's the question in this case.
So what is a threat? A threat can be defined by what he did. You're saying it was a threat. You're making the implication, but a clear, this is a clear statement. This is a clear statement. You feel what I'm saying? If you threaten someone and you're a politician or you're becoming a politician, right? And this goes for both parties, because I did not like when the New York DA Tish James was like, "You goddamn right. If I'm elected, I'm gonna lock his ass up." No, lady. The law is supposed to be blind. The scales of justice are supposed to be blind. Just go by the evidence. That's what fucked up your cases. That early statement right there. You feel what I'm saying? That right there is a threat, because you're saying you're going to take someone's freedom away. When you talk about shit that Marjorie Taylor Greene did, when you talk about the shit that happened, between Lindsey Graham and I think Lindsey Graham and a couple of other Republicans the day Barack Obama won his election and shit like that. If you talk about the shit that Ted Cruz was spouting when he was talking about, when he was saying some of the things of the Tea Party and things like that, threats to me are direct. You know who you're talking to. It's clear. You feel what I'm saying? What Tom Homan said about, if you look a certain way, we're going to lock you up. So those are threats to me. Clear, whatever, because now you have me worrying about my own person. No. You lose your seat, you can never run for politics again. And I don't give a shit on what side of the aisle it comes from, whether it's Democrats or Republicans. There's a tact way to doing this, because I don't remember any politicians early on, with the exception of going all the way back to the communist chase and shit like that, of where politicians were coming out and making actual threats against American citizens. And what did that lead to? That led to concentration camps. We had concentration camps in this country. It happened with Cubans. It happened with Japanese people. It happened with the Chinese. You feel what I'm saying? That's what that shit leads to. So if politicians are talking like that, no, you lost your ability. I'm sorry. Has anybody ever heard Barack Obama make a threat? And he was president twice.
No.
Jimmy Carter? Have you ever heard either one of the Bushes make a threat? So
Not that I can recall.
Huh?
But you did have Dick Cheney, who we're gonna get into later.
Yeah, that's Dick Cheney,
I ain't
but
gonna
I'm
say
talking about the
RIP,
heads
but
of
Dick
state,
Cheney
the
did shoot
president.
somebody. He did shoot somebody, AC.
Yeah, I'm talking about the presidents, the head, the tip of the spear.
Right.
We haven't heard
no.
this. Donald Trump is the first one to do this. Him and his entire administration are out here making threats.
Well, you're correct in the modern era. If I went back to the early 1900s with Teddy Roosevelt, I could probably find some pretty crazy shit of him talking about Woodrow Wilson and World War One.
Yeah,
But Juan, you got any final words on this topic before we move on?
We rich.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At least he is, Mr. Beauchart. Salute to Mr. Beauchart getting that bread. We're gonna move on to the land of Zion. They're in the news headlines once again for the worst stuff. Excuse me. They're once again in the headlines for the worst stuff. By the way, since the ceasefire took place, I think 2-3 weeks ago, the IDF have unalived over 147 Gazan civilians. So these are not Hamas fighters; these are Gazan civilians. But shocking, a shocking report came out this week concerning an incident that happened last year, 2024, where I'll just play the video. But the Solicitor General of Israel has been arrested for leaking a video of 10 IDF soldiers violating a Gazan prisoner. And here's the report.
The former top lawyer of the Israeli military has been arrested over a leaked video showing Israeli soldiers brutally assaulting a Palestinian prisoner. Major General Yifrat Toma Yerushalayim resigned last week, saying she took full responsibility for the leak. She's now being detained on suspicion of obstruction of justice and breach of trust. Well, the footage was leaked back in August 2024, and it shows Israeli soldiers dragging and allegedly sexually abusing a Palestinian prisoner, hiding their actions behind riot shields.
Okay, so this lady right here, I'm not gonna say her name. You're not gonna get me to say it respectfully. She's a major general. She was the top lawyer in Israel's military, and like you just heard, what the reporter said. An incident went down last year, and this is not an isolated incident in Israeli prisons, where 10 IDF soldiers went into a room full of Gazan prisoners, had them all lying face down. Then they picked one of them out and walked him behind a row of riot shields to cover what they were doing from the cameras, and they raped this dude. They straight violated him. At least four, and they say at least four of those individuals sodomized that person, who I feel very sorry for. And this lady, Major General, you're not gonna get me to say her name. She leaked the video. It came out, and now Israel is arresting her. And the part about this to me that is just like is just bonkers. There is a video of these men raping another human being, and Bibi Netanyahu, his first reaction was, "Oh, this is tarnishing the image of the military." What? The video getting leaked is tarnishing the image of the military, not those individuals that violated that man. What? Hey, see, let me get your reaction, because we're gonna go into it more, because it's another layer to this that we're gonna get into. But what's your reaction to that report?
It reminds me when NYPD did it to the suspect with the batons and stuff like that, to the black dude that they did those type of actions to, and stuff like that, and he was an immigrant at that. It reminds me of the stories and videos that were coming out of Guantanamo Bay. And then to see Israel completely go in that direction with their unhinged, unheld accountable.
And by the way, AC, they arrested the 4 individuals that actually penetrated this person last year. And when they arrested him, the right-wing part of Israeli society exploded.
Yeah.
There were fucking riots. They were trying to run onto the military base to freedom.
Yeah. And that goes to what I'm saying. And that's in the fact
like
that
they're basically advocating for the right to rape another human being.
You cannot.
Like we're not just gonna murder these people. We're gonna rape them too.
Now here's my argument and my statement. If people are in Israel, and I'm not talking about Jews here in the United States or other Jews around the world, but if you're a Jewish person in Israel and you're on that side of Bibi Netanyahu, then you have to accept that your argument of calling anyone anti-Semitic falls flat on its face, because that type of behavior is anti-Semitic to the Jewish faith. Jewish faith doesn't get down with homosexuality. They don't get down with, torture and things like that. If you read the Judeo-Christian Bible, if you read the Torah, Show me when you say you're the oppressed, you're the chosen one. You mean to tell me God chose y'all to do that type of shit to another human being? God chose y'all to starve other human beings? God told y'all to just little teenage boys just walking. One crosses this invisible yellow line and you kill all 5 of these young boys. The day that this peace treaty was supposed to be signed. Is that godlike? Is that what Jehovah would want?
No, that's fascist-like.
So my point is this. If I call Israel anti-Semitic, it's an anti-Semitic state. I'm sorry, but if you still live there, in this situation, you're kind of guilty by association until you can get your shit together to get them the fuck up out of there. So that's how I feel about it. And right now, I'm honestly, I don't give a shit about what Israeli Jew would come at me and be like, oh, you're anti-Semitic. I'd say, well, then suck my anti-Semitic. Ooh, ooh. Because at the end of the day, I don't rape men. I'm sorry, I don't rape men. I don't penetrate men with foreign objects or anything like that. I don't even want to see a man's butt. I don't even want to touch it. The last male butt I touched was my son's. So that's it. I'm done. I don't touch no more male butt unless it's mine. So get out of here with all of that. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that will speak truth to power. And right now, Bibi Netanyahu, you turned your country where people are like, oh, Israel should be a free state of anti-Semites. Okay, cool. If that's what y'all want to do and label yourself, cool. Just don't name it Israel anymore. Don't name it Israel. You feel what I'm saying? Name it land of Semites. You know what I'm saying? So
name it the land of Badusi, because it seemed like that's what they're interested in, respectfully.
Yeah. But that's where I land my plane on that one.
No, absolutely. B3 picks, my OG Tommy Hill. How are y'all doing?
Hey, you doing good? Listen, I ain't on the Badusi crew. I don't know y'all talking about the Sweet Boys, man. What's going on? Fill me in.
Well, how you doing, Tommy Hill? Then I'm gonna go into it.
Hey man, shout out to my great brother, Marky Dan, the historian, the truth teller. Shout out to AC, man. AC was cooking though. The fact teller, man, the factitious one. I'm gonna go with that one. How about we go with that? The factitious one, dog. B3, you know, that's my dog right there. B3 is on my nizzle. And AC, he was cooking, man. I just came in and said, all right, you know what I'm saying? I got to get caught up. That's all I got to say. I got to catch up like mustard. I'm going to relish this opportunity.
Most definitely, Tommy Hill. Just to give you and B3 a brief background of what me and AC were talking about over there in Israel. The Solicitor General resigned, and then she was arrested for leaking a video that came out last year of 10 Israeli soldiers. They were in a prison. They were in a prison in Israel. They walked into a room full of Gazan prisoners, picked out one, took him behind some riot shields that they put up to hide themselves from the camera, and they just straight up violated this guy. They violated him. They raped him. Like, they penetrated this dude. Like, I mean, sick stuff. And now Bibi Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, he's pissed off. He's more pissed off that the video came out rather than what went down in the video. So essentially, he's advocating for his soldiers' right to violate other human beings in that way.
Yo, that's wild. That's wild.
B3, you got any words on that?
That's wild.
Absolutely repulsive. So let me just say this and salute to my brother AC, man. This hold on. So you mean to tell me that Israeli soldiers they did this to a Palestinian soldier? Just hold on, because I was walking. Is that right?
I don't know if the Gazan they did this to was a Hamas operative or if he's just been trapped there since he was a little kid. Like a lot of people's stories, I don't know, but there is a video of what these gentlemen did.
It's a video. Come on, man.
Yes, there is a video. This lady, I just said, this lady is was the Solicitor General of Israel, and she had to resign because it came out that she leaked the video.
But my whole thing is that who is it? Body cam or did somebody actually hold a camera there while this
Let me
dude
play
getting
the news report.
sodomized?
Let me play the news report
Exactly.
because there's a piece of the video in there.
The former top lawyer of the Israeli military has been arrested over a leaked video showing Israeli soldiers brutally assaulting a Palestinian prisoner. Major General Yifrat Toma Yerushalayim resigned last week, saying she took full responsibility for the leak. She's now being detained on suspicion of obstruction of justice and breach of trust. Well, the footage was leaked back in August 2024, and it shows Israeli soldiers dragging and allegedly sexually abusing a Palestinian prisoner, hiding their actions behind riot shields.
So you could see a piece of the video right there.
These dudes are conducting themselves as if like they're animals, man. I mean, at what part of society deems this okay, man?
The right
Them-
wing part of Israel. Because after they arrested the 4 soldiers that actually penetrated the prisoner, like a huge right wing riot over there in Israel just popped off, and they actually tried to overwhelm the base so that the military base where they were holding them, so that they can get in there and actually free them. So these people they identify with those individuals.
So
Like
they're
that's their
supportive.
folks.
Wow,
Like anybody, I ever like. No, I ain't gonna even say this respectfully. If I ever found out B3 picked, as much as I love B3, I
bro!
ever
Don't
found out
you?
he did something
Oh,
like
don't
that,
you?
I would.
Oh,
No.
I'm gonna cut that
All
off
right,
right now.
maybe I shouldn't use it,
That's
but it will be over
crazy.
with. I'm not finna go
Yeah.
out there in the streets rioting and protesting for no dude that did something like that.
Listen, if you ever heard it, I did it. Just know it was not me. They lied. they lied. Trust me.
It's a deep fake. It's an
Yeah.
AI deep fake.
Listen, just know that somebody did something really wrong and they pinning it on B3. Trust me.
Most
Nah, bro.
definitely.
Listen, man. That stuff, that's inhumane. And I don't care. It's like, what is this guy doing to the point where that's what you want to do to him? That's how you want to treat him. Is he, loud? Is he cursing? I mean, what is he doing
They
to
call
the
them
point where
goyim. They're goyim. They're animals to them.
Yo, hey, listen.
crazy,
So
The
man?
that's what
first
they do
time I
with
heard the
animals?
term, the first
I
time I
guess
heard the
so, Tommy
term
Hill.
goyim, I was working in the kosher space, right?
Mm-hmm.
That term actually can be used as a derogatory term, but it only thing it means is anyone who doesn't observe the Sabbath. An individual that doesn't, like
Mm-hmm.
Muslims have the word kafa, which is very close to the word kafa that South Africans used to use to describe non-whites. You feel what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
the word goyim, it's one of those words that,
It's like an outsider.
yeah, it can be used just to describe an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Because I was in the conversation and I was talking to an observer of the Sabbath, and he wanted to work at the restaurant I'm the chef at, and I was like, yeah. He was like, no. Listen, if some of the customers come in, and yeah, there's maybe some in this community that just doesn't, want the food to be served to them by goyim. You know goyim, right? You know goyim, because I don't want to disrespect. And I was like, yeah, it just means a person who doesn't observe. He's like, okay, cool. You understand, but maybe some people don't want goyim. I could fill in for that. And I was like, all right, I'll think about it. But I understood what he means by it, how they use it in the Jewish community, in Crown Heights, but it's also one of those words that, depending on the context that you use it, it can have a racial undertone to it. It can be a dog whistle. So it's a word that you
It
just
seems
have to
like
be
it
careful.
seems like that's what mostly is coming down to, AC, in that sense when it's used, because if it's used in a sense where this person can't touch my food or serve me, then that's serious.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
it's serious.
You see what I'm saying? Because then it's like, dang, it's like you can't even work. People don't even want you to touch their food. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's some of
So
these like
salute to my guy
yeah,
Ja coming in the building. How you doing, Ja?
yeah, let Jock
Well,
come.
I ain't know if you was gonna let me on here or not.
Nah. You cool, brother. You cool with your semantical point. It's good. It's cool, brother. How you doing though?
Yeah, dog. We just be having we be having competitive banter. We don't ever take that stuff to heart, man. But you know what? I will say this, man. Before you go on your spiel, man. AC, bro. Yesterday after you left, out of respect and love for you and for my brother B3 and for everybody else who was antagonizing the point, man. We gotta. I want to let you know, man. I thought that you should have been able to finish your point before we started
All right,
commenting
so
on
it's
it.
all gravy. That's why I left before the argument got too heated. I recognized that we were both trying to argue very strong points. I understood his point, and I was hoping that he understood my point. But when the emotions start to get in the way, then no one's listening. So I said, "Listen, I respect your platform. I got nothing but love for you. I'm just gonna back out of this one."
No facts, and that there is also the fact that he does a lot of his broadcasting on the phone, and sometimes the conversation goes in and out on his end, so he
Yeah,
don't be hearing.
I never take shit like that serious because I've been
Most
in
though.
way worse debates over boxing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
over
facts,
two
facts.
fighters that neither one of us know.
Yeah, facts. But just
Yeah,
for
yeah.
future reference, it wasn't anything personal, and I don't think he
I
was
never
hearing.
take it that way,
He
bro.
was everything.
Tommy Hill. Most def. Because I spoke to AC yesterday. He understood what it was, and you did a great job just counseling B3. So just let the man finish his point, so he could
Wait. My
rebut it.
bad. I wasn't counseling B3. No. Don't put that on me, dog. Come on.
Nah,
I'm just
nah,
saying
you
that
I
because
don't think.
no, you
But that's
can't.
not bad.
Nah,
nah, I
but
wasn't
no, but
counseling
when you
B3.
say stuff, Mark, it sounds like he calling them a nigga. So that's why we gotta watch it.
What?
But
He's the OG. He's the OG. He can counsel you. What?
yeah, he can. 100%. I'm in full
Hey
agreement.
man. Okay.
But still,
Listen. We gonna move
100%. You're
on.
right.
Yeah,
But
we,
let me
we
just
sound
let me
like
say
counsel
he
this
one
real
really
quick,
another,
Mark,
but
when
be
we end it.
playing
But
like
y'all was 100% right, and I was jumping the gun because I was going in and out. So, I just didn't want my point to be kind of misinterpreted. But you right. Everybody right. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I
I
should have
felt
definitely let
like
AC
B3
finish.
wasn't playing for what he was standing for, like so anything else was like, no, I ain't trying to
I
hear
mean
that.
that's okay. But let me get us back on track.
let's get back on
Ja,
track. My bad. Go ahead, Marky. Get us back on
nah.
track.
You the OG, Tommy Hill. You get a pass. You always get a pass. It's okay, Tommy Hill. Um, but nah, Ja, we were just discussing some satanic stuff that's going down in Israel.
Tommy Hill for
Um,
president.
and what you
I'll
say?
vote for you. I'll vote for T Hill for president.
Tommy Hill for president. That's what he said, Mark.
Most definitely, most definitely. Tommy Hill a good guy. I think he could fix a lot of this stuff.
Nah, that was
Um,
some more of that Semitism, dog. But continue your point, player. Continue
I'm
your point.
yeah,
serious.
but we gonna
Tommy
move
serious.
on. We gonna move on to the Floyd Mayweather side of this conversation. Um,
Satanic though.
but
Uh oh.
oh yeah, Josh. So let me explain the Satanism to you. So 10 Israeli soldiers were videotaped and caught. Um, how do I say it? They were
Sodomizing? Did they
violating another
sodomize him?
man's. They were violating another man. I'm gonna just say it like that. And they were caught on video doing it. And then the Israeli prime minister came out and defended what those soldiers were doing, and they arrested the person that leaked the video. So yeah, that's what they got going down in Israel. It's satanic over there.
What did he say
But
that? Well, how did he defend it?
he defended. No, This is what I'm talking about semantics. Listen to the logic. Listen to the meat and bones of the shit. like, come on, bro. So we gonna move. Or matter of fact, let me play the news report for you, Ja. Then we're gonna move on
No,
to the
like
Floyd Mayweather
you
side of
gonna
this.
I mean, gang rape and the dude.
The former top lawyer of the Israeli military has been arrested over a leaked video showing Israeli soldiers brutally assaulting a Palestinian prisoner.
Bro, you talking over the drop? What did you say?
I ain't even hear
No, he's playing a video for you, Josh. This is what we about to comment on.
I don't see it. My bad.
Okay, let me play it one more time.
The former top lawyer of the Israeli military has been arrested over a leaked video showing Israeli soldiers brutally assaulting a Palestinian prisoner. Major General Yifrat Toma Yerushalayim resigned last week, saying she took full responsibility for the leak. She's now being detained on suspicion of obstruction of justice and breach of trust. Well, the footage was leaked back in August 2024, and it shows Israeli soldiers dragging and allegedly sexually abusing a Palestinian prisoner, hiding their actions behind riot shields.
Yeah, so that's what's going down in Israel right now. They also have an entire genocide taking place, and they have apartheid laws in their country. But Floyd Mayweather recently made some very big headlines. Not very good headline. Hold on, my shit is stuck. What is going on? Okay, it don't matter. But Floyd Mayweather made some very big headlines this past week. He accepted the world champion of Israel award. And this is Floyd on stage, essentially buck breaking himself for Israel.
I'm not with you guys 10%, 50%. I will always be the voice for the people in Israel. I will always stand behind the country of Israel. The one and only Floyd Money Mayweather in Israel. I will always be here for you guys when you guys don't have a voice. And what we keep hearing is, why, Floyd, why? Well, my best friend is Jewish. This is my brother.
I ain't never seen this dude before.
If you have a problem with him, you have a problem with me.
You's a liar!
So, no matter what it is, when it is, when you call on me, I'm there for you guys. Always. I don't care social media. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna be a voice, I'm gonna be the voice, I'm gonna speak, I'm gonna stand strong, and no matter what I go through, no matter how much backlash I get, I live my life for me.
So you have Floyd Mayweather up there, buck breaking himself for Israel. That shit, that part where he says, now a lot of people may be asking, why is Floyd Mayweather doing this? It's because I have a Jewish friend. And then they point the camera to this nigga. Nobody don't know who the hell this dude is. This man ain't never been to none of the fights. You don't see him hanging around with Leonard and them. This shit is hilarious, bro. Oh, my bad. Somebody just pulled on my fucking door handle. I don't know what the fuck wrong with this nigga. Okay, but no, Floyd Mayweather. Buck broke himself for Israel, and you heard it right there. He said, whatever it is, I'm gonna support Israel no matter what. So Floyd is making it known he supports what went down in that goddamn video in that prison. Respectfully. On top of the fact, one more piece of this, then I'm gonna get y'all's reaction. Bibi Netanyahu has come out and explicitly stated that this is Israel's strategy to winning the what should I call it? The information war. I'll say it like that. The image war. Because Israel is shitty. Nobody gonna fuck with Israel. Like, they are getting removed from Eurovision. The next in a couple of years, the Olympics. That's gonna be a big fight that's coming up. They about to get boycotted because don't nobody want to compete with Israel with what they're doing over there. And Bibi Netanyahu slowly realizes they're losing. So this is him coming out and explicitly stating that coons like Floyd Mayweather, they are very valuable.
And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged.
systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influences. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. Exactly. Very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight. Okay?
So that's Bibi Netanyahu making it very clear that Israel plans to use the money from NGOs, one of which is the Republican Jewish Coalition, which you just saw Floyd up there speaking at. They're going to use the money of NGOs, the money of governments. They get $20 billion every year of our taxpayer dollars. And their plan is to take over the social media spaces and to flood it with propaganda. But going to Coon Mayweather for a second. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. This is who this individual has been for a very long time. He don't even support his own fucking people, no matter what the case is. But he's gonna stand up for those people. And listen, I ain't got no problem with it. Because he's making it very clear. And I respect it. Stand on what you're standing on. Because those are your folks. Because obviously it looks like Floyd is saying to himself, man, when them Saudis was on my ass, it was the Jews. It was the Zionists. What do I need a black American for? I mean, what the hell is that community? Well, I mean, what they ever gave to me? I mean, if that's how you feel, fuck them. Because for you to stand up there and break yourself like that, for you to stand up there and Floyd Mayweather's not a dumb person. He knows what's going on in Israel right now. He may seem like he's slow and he may be uneducated. He's not dumb. But he just don't give a fuck. That's what Floyd Mayweather's attitude has been about anything that don't make him money. I don't give a fuck. And where I'm at with Floyd, in my eyes, he will forever be a buck broken coon. I'm going to use Floyd as an example to my sons of what I do not want them to become. And that's it. If we could have those boxing conversations about Floyd, I definitely still think he one of them ones. He definitely a special fighter. But Floyd Mayweather, the human being, I ain't got nothing to say about this dude no more. But I'm gonna come to AC first. Then I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down the line and get y'all's reaction. AC, what is your reaction to Floyd the Raccoon Mayweather getting up there in Israel and breaking himself?
It's a mixed bag, man, because when you look at his involvement in many of these murders and stuff like that, who actually put up the money for these funerals on the low, which a lot of people just don't know, from Breonna Taylor, Floyd George, and a couple of other black people, and the black kid who was shot in the park playing on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day with his toy rifle. Floyd came out and he paid for those funerals. He made sure the family was all right. But then you go ahead and you just do the Gucci thing. Then after the Gucci thing, then you do something like this, and it's just like, you're like a bittersweet dude. And I get it, to where you said you don't care. You said there's going to be a lot of backlash, and you said, I don't care. Because he knows one thing that I know. The amount of money And if you chasing money, and Floyd Mayweather is a money chaser, you know, he called himself Money Mayweather. You know how to chase the bag, and you know where the bag is. And I'm gonna keep it a beam with everybody. Dealing with Jewish money inside their sustainable bubble, dealing with that whole kosher space. That's the space I'm in here in Brooklyn, bro. It's trillions of dollars, and if you can capitalize on it, you're set for life. And maybe, you know, a person like me get there and get where I want to be. I'll start doing other things that have nothing to do with that, to whereas I'm giving back to my own community and things like that. But I understand that half of it. What I don't understand is, why did you have to go way over there? Because the sustainable communities here don't fuck with that shit over there. They don't fuck with nothing from Israel. Like, if you work in a kosher place, you cannot order shit from Israel. Like, if it's a true Israeli product, you cannot order it because they'll tell you that's not kosher. And you say to yourself, but they're all Jews and they're Hasidic like you. How is it not kosher? No, because it's from Israel. And where Israel is right now, they have different standards on what is actually kosher. Just look at what they're doing over there. So you're getting this influx of Jews that don't support that, but they got to get out of there because Netanyahu's in charge. So for Floyd to go over there, knowing many of these things I already know, and I don't have Floyd Mayweather money. I can't hop on a jet and just go over there and see the shit for myself, or just stay in some expensive hotel that allows me to, you know, wear blinders. But you still can read shit. So at the end of the day, man, it's like, to me, it's like watching Snoop and many other rappers bend the knee for Donald Trump on his inauguration. So I'm just highly, highly disappointed. And I'm like, okay, Floyd, now you have me at this point where Marky just said, I have to separate the tale of two Floyd Mayweathers. The Floyd Mayweather that acts like a brother and acts black and gets in the ring and does what he does. And then there's the Floyd Mayweather who's now selling out for his journey, I guess, to become a billionaire. And that's where it just gets sad, because you don't have to go down that road to be a billionaire. You don't. So yeah, that's where I landed as just the second biggest disappointment to me. You feel what I'm saying, as far as like black celebrities and black entertainers or black sports figures bending the knee for the most corrupt shit in the world.
Absolutely. Tommy Hill, you are OG. What's your reactions to this raccoon suit wearing gentleman doing what he did over there with those Zionists?
Yeah, unfortunately, man, I think the biggest turning point in his life is when he was taken in by a Jewish family, probably one of Zionist background, and indoctrinated him to the way they do things and the way they are to collect their wealth. And you can clearly see the display right there. It is conflicting because, you know, inside the ring, like you said, he is one of those ones. And as AC pointed out, there is so many good things that he's done for people who have been less fortunate. But then there are the things that he does that you clearly see that allow for him to be the narcissist that he is. And then, you know, taking advantage of certain situations and outcomes at his great game. He said at the end of the video, I live my life for me.
Yup.
You know, that's the most telling tale of all the tales right there. The influence and everything else we see and the message that it sends. True indeed. I don't agree with it, but I don't agree with a lot of things he does outside the ring. I wish I remember my man's name. It's something Smith, but he chronicled how the Zionists came into power and how they got the wealth that they have. And, I was mind boggled by it because I didn't believe it was so. But he was watching how back before the Holocaust even started, they were advertising help from various countries for the Holocaust that the people were going through. And they had not had a Holocaust at the time. It was before, I believe it was in 29 or 28, something like that. And they were using, because back then you used to do advertisements.
Well, what happened? What happened, Tommy Hill? Even though the Nazis hadn't taken power yet, you did have a lot of Jewish annihilation and a lot of genocides going on, particularly in Russia, where they were just out of fucking order. So the
Okay.
British, but go ahead, Tommy Hill, finish your
No,
point.
no. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and finish off. I'm
Yeah.
listening.
So the British made the decision to give them, or not give them, but it was a whole plan worked out by the prime minister and by the royal family at the time. They were going to give the mandate of Palestine to I think what were they called, AC? What's the name of that huge Jewish family?
The
The
Rothschilds.
Rothschilds. The
The
Rothschilds.
Rothschilds, yeah.
Yep, the Rothschilds. It's literally a letter that says, "Dear Lord Rothschild," and they go into, "We're giving you this state so that the chosen people can get back to where they're going." And then you obviously had you needed some funding campaigns, but go ahead, Tommy Hill, from there.
So yeah, like you said, that did take place. However, these were the dates that predated even that. So they were getting prepared maybe for what was to come, or however it played out. But they had appealed to a lot of countries and through their syndicated news outlets that they needed help, assistance, and monetary compensation for a Holocaust that was taking place. And just to hear him say that about Facebook and X sounds similar, but just with a different tone. So now it's not the imminent of a demise of a nation or a people, but an ideology, iconoclast, or a statue. So yeah, man, it's kind of alarming because most people are flooding traffic of social media. And if they're getting bequests on behalf of social media, it just does nothing but further empowers them. Because like they said in the movie, man, he who has the gold rules. So the more they have more capital and more resources, the more reach they have, the more scope of power they have. So it's unfortunate that my man is back there backing them. And when you got clearly sick and saddening acts being committed against people, I know it's times of war. And like my man Jay Gibbs said, man, it's war crimes, no doubt about that. But to take someone to beat them mercilessly when they have been captured or surrendered, and then to sodomize them, to demean them, and then to call them substandard names, that is not. I don't understand. That's
what happened to them, Tommy Hill.
Exactly.
That's literally what happened to them.
Exactly, man. And people who are, quote unquote, the chosen of God or protected by God do not do, when they have someone conquered, they don't do that. They, throughout course of time, have been instructed to do away with any of their customs or the spoils of their goods. So why would you then spoil them in that fashion, but yet still keep them? So I don't understand why they do that. That is definitely not of God. And on top of that, my man, like I said, I know his last name is Smith. He said, they were imposters, that they took someone else's place. That sounds like somebody that is usurp somebody else's place, and they're trying to cement it by doing certain things to preserve it, and that's how it looks to me.
No, absolutely, Tommy Hill. You cooked. I mean, that was I mean, you said a lot right there. The one thing I would say to you and AC though is while Floyd, yes, he does pay for a lot of these victims of police brutality and police killings. He does pay for I think he paid for George Floyd's kids to go to college,
Yeah,
and for them to go to private school, and he paid for his funeral and Breonna Taylor and a few other individuals.
I forgot
But
the
my
little boy's
problem
name.
with
I can't
and
remember
I'm gonna
his
let you
name.
go, Ja. I'm gonna let you cook fully on this issue, Ja. Just let me say this. The problem I have with Floyd Mayweather is he deals in respectability politics. So what that means is he essentially he believes in preserving the system that unalive these individuals, and he believes that they should have acted accordingly and maybe they would have survived. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And for you to continue to try and uphold that, you're creating more Breonna Taylors, you're creating more George Floyds. And some of these Breonna Taylor didn't have no chance to do the right thing. They just banged on her door, walked in, and bowed. And her boyfriend had to make a decision. Same thing with George Floyd. It wasn't nothing George Floyd could have did. That man was not getting up off him. So I hear what y'all are saying. He does do certain things for the community, but as a whole, I don't think Floyd Mayweather is good for black people. Now, Ja, I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna let you cook, brother. Go right ahead. What are your thoughts on from the first news report I showed you to Floyd Mayweather breaking himself like that, and then Bibi Netanyahu, like Tommy Hill just said, laying out his plan to preserve something that's pretty fake. Yo, Job.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, brother.
So the first video that was horrific. Uh, the soldiers basically raping a dude. It was disgusting.
Grape. Say
And then
grape. Say
oh
don't
my
say the word.
grape man, graping. And it looked like it got nothing to really do with no war. It just looked like they got a fetish and maybe they're using a war to kind of fund their fetish. Like
Whoa.
that's what it looked like to me. It don't look like it got nothing to do with no war. It looked like a fetish to me. That was disgusting. With Floyd, I don't know what he was wearing. Maybe that was weird. He seemed like the only one wearing it, so he kind of like
Wow,
looked like
yeah, I peeped that shit too. He was the only one wearing it
it looked like
in that
came in from
whole
that.
theater.
That was embarrassing. More in this, it was more cringy. It was more cringy, like, and then Floyd history is not known. Like somebody brought up Snoop Dogg or something. It's like for me, my perspective, because I don't know a lot of details, because I wouldn't be able to. But like just common sense is like when somebody doing something wrong, you can obviously tell. But with Floyd, he just looked like an easy person for somebody to like manipulate. That's what it seemed like for me. I automatically, I'm like, all right, whoever's using Floyd for this issue, I'm not taking them serious. If they using Snoop Dogg for something political, and they talking about like P Diddy vote or die, that worked. Like, and that's more. I'm more concerned about like my people, who's the majority, which we really got the power, but it's like we let propaganda, this is history all over again, like just letting propaganda control us, but we really in control. They don't make nothing move without us. um and however we reacted, like I don't like Floyd, and he said he gonna be a voice for them, but it was nothing like voicing what are you saying, like what are you saying that somebody really care to listen to about it. Like you're not the type of person for me that I would come to you if I'm like, yo, how should I play this fight out? what's my fight plan for this boxing match? That's pretty much all I would come to you for. Um, but like a political issue, I would never even come and ask you a question about it. So I just look at it like, all right, they using Floyd, then they make them solidify like who they are. Like they ain't really shit. Like
Yeah,
you try to play me, like, cause they using Floyd to
Let
play
let let
me.
Jock
no,
cook for a
I'm,
little bit,
I,
AC.
yeah, yeah.
They using Floyd to play me, so I'm the target. That's how I feel, and everybody else, like, who might and like who why is they using Floyd anyway? Like who is they trying to get support from by using Floyd? And then in this day and age also, it's not the same like when a Muhammad Ali could go and rescue some hostages. Like I don't know who we got nowadays that'll be that even capable of doing that. And then in our history, we've seen what happened, whether you take a peaceful angle or whether you take a violent angle, you getting assassinated. And then this is basically like it's a genocide and it's a slavery thing. Like so with the genocide, that is what it is. Like some people gonna fight. Like if you gonna stand up for this, if you don't got no type of like if you ain't in no position like Floyd, then you better be thinking mentally you about to die right now or you about to bow down to survive. In some type of way, you gonna have to, you're gonna have to do something you don't want to do just for survival, or you gonna have to go out dying right there, like ready to die. Um so that's how I see that. Like also like thinking outside of the box, like Floyd is a good inside man for this. Cause just like they could manipulate him, somebody else might be able to manipulate him and get information that they might need to stop all this nonsense. But I look at it more of like the people, like us, the majority, which is people who is not extremely wealthy. Like we gotta have somebody and we gotta really be connected where this type of stuff don't run nothing. Like they gotta really be about something, not just throwing out propaganda and just doing whatever they want. And one thing that really kind of grind my gears about anything like this, like I feel empathy, sympathy, whatever. I wouldn't wish this type of stuff on nobody that's happening to the victims on whatever side you want to say. But like the stuff that black people talk about, and then people be like, "Shut up!" Like we don't want to hear that, or they be like, "Oh, that was this how many years ago?" Like nobody don't really be giving a damn. Like you have rare people, like we get help from people. It be rare, like, and this is a norm for us. It's like when you talk about being from the hood and being desensitized from somebody dying. Like this is the same old. Like what is what? Like what y'all trying to do? You want to do something or you want to be feeling some kind of way about the propaganda and just giving it more power and energy? Cause like it's the same old stuff. Now it's just happening to some other people. And it's
Yeah.
just like when it happened to us, they dug us out. And now every time, I feel like every time somebody gets some type of help when they're going through this, we always at the forefront helping them on the front lines. And we ain't getting nothing from it. Cause they go as soon as they get out of that situation, then they go right back to dogging us. They comfortable with it. And I remember when all this stuff was coming out, some black people they was coming at black people that ain't even like a politician talking about they should be supporting us on this. They should be why they ain't standing up? Why they ain't speaking out on it? It's like, what you mean, yo? Y'all leave us hanging all the time, all throughout history. Y'all been leaving us hanging. We going through this stuff all the time. And another thing could happen and they ain't gonna give a damn. They gonna talk about black on black crime and stuff like that. That's the only thing that really pisses me off. Like nobody don't really got genuine love for black people until they need some help with their civil rights.
Well, I just wanted to come in because you made some
Hey,
really,
hey,
really solid
nah, this
points
man,
there.
yeah, Jai, you cooked. I
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
have you up here a lot more.
yeah. You made some really solid points, and one of the points that stood out for me is one of your more recent points where you was talking about, you know, though people who come from hoods that become desensitized to death and violence. That's a real issue. That just tells you how much money is not flowing in the hood, despite how many rappers actually come from those hoods. And then once they make a little bit of money, they trying to tell you, like on the East Coast. I used to hate the fact that, between 50, Tony, Tony Yayo, and some other dudes talking about, yeah, we out the hood, y'all still stuck in the hood. The fuck do you mean, clown boy? At the end of the day, you got lucky because you attached yourself to 50. You older than 50, but you don't make the money that he made. So you attach yourself to him. Now you rich, and now you telling everybody y'all stuck someplace. And then what 50 do when he dropped you? We ain't heard shit from you since, clown boy. So yeah, I get those aspects. Concerning Floyd, some of the points you made concerning Floyd, it's like we have to understand. You asked the question, how does he help, or how is he gonna help? Because Floyd is not there to speak to you, nor me, nor anybody on this panel, nor anybody who's tuning into this or clicks onto it to watch it in the replay. We are not the audience because we cannot afford a $10,000 dinner. We cannot afford a $100,000 dinner. You feel what I'm saying? So they're talking to the 5%, and in that 5%, they're talking to the 3, 2s, and 1% of that group. So Netanyahu told you who the people that Floyd is supposed to talk to. That's the tech people. That's your Jeff Bezos. Everybody who bent the knee for Donald Trump in the tech industry. That's exactly who's he supposed to talk to. He's not
How do
meant to
they
talk to us.
benefit from Floyd? How did they? 'Cause I feel the same way. I feel like that was just for the people in that room.
Yeah.
Whoever got
So
the
how you
footage,
ask
they
the
just get a
question?
couple
How do they
dollars off
benefit
of it.
from it? You ask the question. How do
Like,
they
where's
benefit from
his?
it?
In the context of that question is like, who is Floyd gonna influence? Like, what power
It's
do
not a
Well,
matter
well,
of
Floyd
who
got?
he
you said it
influences.
though. You said it though. When you were cooking though, Jai,
Yeah.
you're the target. And Bibi Netanyahu said it in his in that video I played. They're trying to consolidate their support in the United States, and they want to use influencers. Or in Floyd's
Yes.
case, Floyd is an icon in our community,
Yes.
or at least
Now
he was.
here's how it
And
works.
salute to my guy D Free coming in the building. Go ahead, AC.
Here's how it works. I've seen you on the other channel talking about boxing. So then you know about that Keyshawn video that dropped, where Keyshawn was like, yeah, these millionaires and billionaires invited me to talk to people that just hang around and deal with like the president and Donald
Ah,
Trump and
come
stuff
on.
like that. Like, yo, like these are really real millionaires and billionaires concerned about me coming from the hood. Nigga, they not concerned about you coming from the hood. They're looking at your black ass like, yeah, he's what Russia calls a useful idiot. You're there so we can feed you talking points, and now because of your situation, you coming from the hood, now you're rich, blah 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 blah. Now I can have you talk to these people, and they'd look at you like, but here's a black man who came from Norfolk, Virginia, who made it out the hood and the ghetto, and now he's a millionaire. So yeah, he's gonna be the type of guy that can be the face of who we want to meet, want to talk to as far as the influencers. Do you think many of these influencers on this next level know about boxing or even watch boxing? They are the most casual of casual fans. They can never pull up on a panel and have a conversation with us because they're gonna say shit like, whoa. I don't know what you've been reading or where you. No, that it doesn't go down like that. You feel what I'm saying? So if I'm in a room full of money, you have to know your audience. If you make a pitch to get somebody to invest or something, know your investors. So if I take an iconic figure, a Hall of Famer like Floyd Mayweather, and have him in a room with, let's say, Damon John, and half the cast of Shark Tank, and I have Floyd Mayweather come out of there, come out, Mr. Wonderful, everybody, no matter what side of the political scheme, you're going to want to take that picture with Floyd Mayweather. You may even want him to sign something if you knew he was going to be there in advance. So you went out and brought yourselves a pair of boxing gloves and you said, yeah, Floyd, can you sign these boxing gloves for me? So there is a purpose for him. There is a place for him, but it's not for us. We will get it once it goes down through all the social media people. And then the message is tainted to where, and it's dumbed down to where, no, you know, Floyd Mayweather has this new 501c3 non-for-profit that, you know, it's about empowering young black things and this and that. Look at what 50 is doing over in that other state, to where the people are like, yo, 50, we're the people that bought your albums for that studio he wants to build. But who's backing him? Why did 50 join those things to say those things about those people? You feel what I'm saying? So, and when I spoke of Snoop, I'm only speaking of Snoop as, this is the Snoop that said, if you down with Donald Trump, you ain't blah, 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 blah. I would never perform for Donald Trump, yada, yada, yada. To the Snoop Dogg that said, hey, I'm just trying to get this bread. I don't give a fuck what y'all say about me. I'm trying to get my bread, and I'm going to smoke my high-grade weed all the way to the bank. That's the fucked up dude right there. That's
So
the
this
piece
what
of
I
shit.
want to see, like this how I feel, but it's not completely true. I know it got to be just my experience growing up.
What 1 second? Well, you know what? Finish your point, Jod. Then I'm gonna come to
So
D Free, who just came in.
so
Go
this
ahead.
what I want. This what I want to happen. Like ideally, so growing up, like people my age, even like a little bit older than me, like from the 80s to the 2000s, like how I see it is like I feel like pretty much all of us know, unless you just like low, like extremely low IQ, we know what's really going on. Anybody, even like somebody like Keyshawn, like I could see him being able to be influenced by somebody like Floyd, but I don't actually see him actually believing when somebody the stuff that people doing that's dead wrong. I don't see him actually believing that that's true. That ain't nothing wrong with the stuff that people do. That ain't right. But what I want to know is like, I feel like we in control the people who would support like 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg. Like, I ain't never look at them like some other people look at them like high, like, oh, they admire them. I just look at them as a regular person, like you was hustling. The way you made it was the way you made it. You were just making money. It was just about money so you could provide for your family. But far as you talking about the hood and what goes on in the hood, you not telling me nothing I'm living. Like I'm living that. So I'm not looking at you like some big role model. I look at you as somebody who could give me an opportunity to hustle in some type of way. I'm trying to figure out what can we do so we can control that. Like if 50 Cent made a new show and we ain't watch it, nobody watched it, then that would change everything. Or if we, even if like we didn't watch it, but other people supported it, but at while they was busy watching Power, then we'd be busy doing something else. Like that's what I really want from all these situations, cause like the reactions is cool, and like if you saying this guy is wrong, I don't mess with this guy, his character, that's a good thing because you bringing awareness to like that type of stuff. But that could only go so far before it become hogwash because it's just a bunch of back and forth name calling, just like a presidential debate or something. Like so, like enough of like saying. I feel like it's obvious because soon as somebody make fun of Floyd for not being able to read, the same people who supporting him, they gonna be supporting something against them too. Just like let's use our power. How could we actually solidify that we accepting and acknowledging that we got the most power and it's just how we gonna move? Like why don't we control the platforms instead of letting it control us. Like, 'cause they don't got nothing. They don't got nothing. All they can do is commit war crimes, atrocities, but they don't got nothing else. Like all the other stuff, we doing it, and they just taking the credit for it. Like,
I'm
yeah, that was me.
gonna say that may be true on certain layers, but not the total layers. Like the method to move the message, they have full control over the airways.
But let's say they tried to genocide us on the
Hold on one
airwaves.
second.
What
And my bad.
what would that
I was
do?
talking on mute. Yeah, hold on one second. Let me get my guy free in the conversation. And Tommy Hill is right. They do have full control over the airwaves, or at least they're trying to get there. You heard Benjamin Netanyahu talking about TikTok, and said they're gonna go to X next, and they're gonna make friends with Elon Musk. So that's
Can
what
I just say something to that though? I agree with
yeah, go
that.
ahead.
I'm just saying,
Be brief.
if they try to control the airways, right? And they like, all right, you can't say that on TikTok, you can't do that, like, and all we got to do is be like, well, F you then, F TikTok, F
But
X.
that's
We
the
not gonna
point of
even
a
get on
Floyd
it at all.
Mayweather. That's the point of a Floyd Mayweather, to separate us, to divide us. That's
Yeah,
the
you
game
gotta
they
be.
playing.
That's why I want to send a message to the underground, like, yo, you gotta be silly, like. Floyd Mayweather clearly not taking it that serious. You got to be silly to let somebody lead you, and that for that reason, like, if they want to control something that they need us to keep on producing it, then we should control it. We should boycott that. How fast everybody want to boycott the Tank fight just because he fighting Jake Paul and the weight difference? Like the same speed we need when it comes to this stuff. That's
Most def, but we are more unified boxing community though, unfortunately, than our actual community. But D Free, my brother, are you there? D Free.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
I
Yes,
cut
sir. How
off.
you
I'm
doing
just
tonight,
saying
my
I
good
want the
friend?
same speed
Man, I'm cool.
for
I'm
that.
One
cool.
second, Ja. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We cooking on Israel, and we talking about what went down with Floyd Mayweather. I assume you've seen that video. I mean, what are your thoughts on Floyd, the Raccoon Mayweather? Matter of fact, let me just play the
Actually,
video. Let
actually,
me
I'm
just
about to
play
say,
the
actually,
video.
I didn't see the video.
Okay, so I'm gonna play the video for you.
I'm not with you guys 10%, 50%. I will always be the voice for the people in Israel. I will always stand behind the country of Israel. The one and only, Floyd Money Mayweather in Israel. I will always be here for you guys when you guys don't have a voice. Yeah. And what we keep hearing is, why, Floyd, why? Well, my best friend is Jewish. This is my brother.
I ain't never seen this dude before.
If you have a problem with him, you have a problem with me.
You's a liar! Yeah.
So, no matter what it is, when it is, when you call on me, I'm there for you guys, always. I don't care, social media, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna be a voice, I'm gonna be the voice, I'm gonna speak, I'm gonna stand strong, and no matter what I go through, no matter how much backlash I get, I live my life for me.
So you see that right there. Then I'm gonna play this clip for you, Frilio, of Bibi Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, stating that this is their strategy to garner support in the U.S.
And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community. They're very important. And the most important ones are on social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is Class? TikTok. TikTok. Number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one? That's most important. X. Exactly. Very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight. Okay?
So there you see the Prime Minister of Israel making it known that this image campaign for Israel is going all over social media, and they're looking for whatever influencers and figures they can. And then you have Coon Mayweather up there in a fucking altar boy gown, debasing himself for a bunch of Jews.
Yeah, I mean, well, when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, he gonna do what's in best interest for Floyd Mayweather. He's looking out for his bottom line, and I mean, I can't knock the man on his hustle, how he's trying to get money. Some people have a price tag. Some people have a price tag. Some people don't. So I mean, if these people is issuing out money to Floyd Mayweather to be a spokesman, to be ally to their country, I mean, when you get to that level where Floyd Mayweather is at, who made hundreds of millions of dollars, and I heard reports he made over $1 billion. When you get to that level, the way you look at things is different from people on our level. You look at things to keep yourself at that level. We looking at things from being out here, being in the streets, being in the public, and seeing what's going on in ground zero. They're looking at things from where they stand, where they sit at. So I can't really knock him because there's a lot of people doing it. Floyd Mayweather just happened to be the one that they put up there. But best believe he's not the only one that we look at and we admire their work that's behind Israel. He's not the only one. It's just the one. He's the one that they put out there in that video. But he's not the only one. It's a lot of them. When you're a part of that class of people, and we seen it with the Epstein file, we seen it with the P. Diddy situation. When you're part of that class of people, you'd be surprised how many people is backing those individuals. You'd be surprised. It's like I said, so I can't really knock him because I know what he's doing it for. And let's be honest. Floyd Mayweather ain't into politics. He ain't into politics like that. So we don't know what they told him to swing him over to their side. He's going by what they are saying. So I mean, I can't really knock him for what he's trying to do as far as making money in his pocket. But I understand how people look at it the way they look at it. I can see both sides of the coin.
Hey,
I understand what people are looking at.
Can I come in with something to one of D3 points? Now, in the boxing space, everybody knows me for always coming up with these arguments and saying, okay, let's now go into the same energy space. And this is where I'll point out certain things that may ruffle the feathers, but you can't deny that it's basically the same exact thing. Okay. We're getting on Floyd because of what he's doing with Israel, right? And then saying he's an ambassador and blah 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 blah, right? I don't know how many people follow comedians, follow your favorite black or white comedian, whatever the case may be. But Riyadh had a Riyadh comedy special, right? Bill Burr and a bunch of other people and stuff like that. They all performed at it. Dave Chappelle and a bunch of other people. So at the end of the day, there was a lot of pushback within the political or progressive or some political communities, like, why are these comedians selling out to uh to this Riyadh thing in Saudi Arabia, knowing that all the crimes Saudi Arabia did, they still were never held accountable for Jamal Khashoggi's death and stuff like that, and blah 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 blah. Right? That was on that side. Then we have the boxing side. We know that people like Bud Crawford, Inoue, have been named to be ambassadors. The same thing Floyd said, he's an ambassador to Israel. They said they're an ambassador to this whole Riyadh thing, right? So in the boxing world, we say, you know what? We get Bud's coming from here. You know, he's trying to buy. And we turn a blind eye to what Turkey did. Turkey's supposed to be a good thing for boxing. But yet, and still, all of us boxing fans have accepted Turk coming into boxing, knowing Saudi Arabia's, horrendous humanitarian.
That actually is a great point, AC.
Yeah,
That's a great point.
knowing that they're humanitarian and all of these other atrocities,
And we
they've
and
never ever
I
had
even
been
make
held
joke
accountable for.
and I even make jokes about it. I think I was on my bro Phantom Pam. I was just joking with Phantom that I don't think the Saudis will have a problem with what Tank did to that lady. Allegedly. They do that shit. They do worse shit to they women over there.
No doubt. So the point I'm making is
But the difference. Finish your point. Go ahead.
So the point I'm making is this. That's why I was making the argument that some people who may go on the replay and stuff like that, like, why is he making this wishy-washy, whatever, or he's trying to find excuses for Floyd, because I understand different dynamics. And I have receipts to say, bang, bang, bang. What's the difference between all three of these situations? So when I size it up like that, just exactly, and this is where I'll end it, because D Free just took the he just found the needle in a haystack. He hit the bullseye, however many ways you want to call it. All of our celebrities have their price. And when you're looking to be on that level, you don't see the world the way we do. You may say, okay, that was that atrocity, but they're not treating me like that. And as long as they don't treat me like that, I can fuck with them. And that's the rationality with that particular type of cognitive dissonance, that these people you're fucking with are corrupt. But as long as they treat you with in a certain way, it's all gravy.
Yeah. I just absolutely agree, and I didn't even think about it really, but yeah, I can't mess with the Saudis like that. I don't mess with kidnapping reporters and then cutting their bodies up. Like I don't mess with that. And then on top of the fact, Saudi Arabia is an autocracy. Like it's a full on dictatorship. There's no democratic institutions anywhere in Saudi Arabia. It's whatever the king says. If the king decides to come out with a law that says the women have to wear 8 layers of rags before they walk outside the house, that's the law.
And
And
you
they're
gotta
going to enforce that.
look at Floyd as well. Like, you gotta understand, like I said, Floyd is not heavy into politics like that. Far as I know, he's not heavy into politics. But when Israel came out to him and wanted to make him an ambassador or whatever have you, he's looking at it. Well, my country is supporting Israel anyway, so why not? So it's not in his eyes. In his eyes, he doesn't seem like he's doing anything wrong.
But free, and it's because I didn't show you that video, or I don't think you were here for that news report that we showed before we got into this topic. But Israel, they're doing some satanic stuff, bro. So I just think for Floyd to step up there and say, no matter what it is, I support Israel after the booty banditry that we just went into of what Israel is doing to their prisoners over there. I don't know. Just because somebody put some money in your pocket, I just think that's a little harsh. Versus, these boxers, while again, I don't agree with what the Saudis are doing. I don't agree with what they did to Jamal Khashoggi. But still, Inouye ain't standing up there and saying, I'm going to support Saudi Arabia no matter what. He just said, I'm going to come over here and fight. It's a beautiful location. And they got these women walking around from head to toe in some rags. But Floyd,
No,
I just think that's a different level of coonery.
no. I mean, like I said, I understand what you're saying, but you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it from Floyd's side of the coin as well, because if he's not following what's going on with Israel and he just going by what they're saying, and he see that his country is supporting Israel, he's looking at it. Well, these guys is going to give me money. I don't see me doing anything wrong. My country is supporting Israel, so why not be an ambassador for Israel? Why not
That
take the money
literally
that
sound like
Israel is
Floyd
offering me?
Mayweather's thought process. Literally sound like his
Hey,
thought
I'm just
process.
saying, because Floyd. I mean, from all reports, and I don't know Floyd personally, but from all reports, they said Floyd's not the brightest person.
Hold on, everybody mute up.
Yeah,
It's an echo for some reason.
from all reports, they saying Floyd's not the brightest person. So if you got a guy that's not that bright, that's not into politics, and he see his country is backing another country, and they asking you to be an ambassador, they're gonna put money in your pocket, they're gonna do this for you, they're gonna do that for you. You're gonna be like, okay, why not?
No, absolutely. And before we move on to the final subject of the night, B3 picks, my brother.
Hey, after B3, I wanna also say something before we move on.
No problem, no problem. B3 picks.
Yeah, what's good, Mark?
Yeah. You've probably already seen the Floyd video. I think you are very much aware of Israel's media campaign and propaganda campaign. So, what do you make of Floyd? Hold on, let me get the picture up. Floyd Raccoon Mayweather breaking himself up there for Israel.
I mean, you said it. You said it. Well, man. We talked about this on my show as well, Mark. You already broke it down. You said the names that needed to be said and called them what needed to be called, right? Um, what we know about Mayweather is his money made all fucking day. So if it got the right dollar amount on it, Mayweather gonna pull up. He's for profit, and that's just what it comes down to. If you can't see that, then you choosing be Stevie, man. So at the end of the day, Mayweather gonna do what's best for him. He ain't concerned about what black people are concerned with, or with anything outside of what that checkbook. And it's unfortunate, man, but that's what you gonna say. I always say this all the time. Bills don't stop. So it's kind of hard to tell a man not to take a check here, check there when he got bills. But you would want him to stand for something. But at the end of the day, when people got to put food on his plate, they not gonna do it. He got to do it. He got to get out. He had to get out there and work with his hands. So that's what it come down to, man. The brother's gonna take the cheese. It is what it is.
Hey T
Most
Hill, you
definitely.
mind if
Most
I
definitely.
say something before you say
Yeah,
something?
you be brief, Ja. Then go ahead,
Yeah,
T Hill.
brief.
Both of
I
y'all be
just
brief.
I just want to say, like, when it come to cooning, and you said something about not seeing somebody else coon from another race, I feel like they don't get away with it in other races. I feel like all this is putting Floyd on the spotlight is to remind the community, like, we need to step it up and hold an accountability and actually walking how we talking when it come to that. 'Cause I don't think no other race gonna get away with like supporting something that's crazy. Like they might not be in the public eye saying something about them, but the people gonna shun you in any other race. That's all I wanted to say about that.
Well, I don't know, Job, because you got these folks.
Latino for Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. ¡Una injusticia! ¡Una injusticia! ¡Una grande injusticia!
Yanette Correa screams injustice after her husband was placed on an expedited deportation order after showing up to his immigration check-in in Miami.
So yeah, you got cooning in every race and every culture. Tommy Hill.
Look at the coon. All
the
this
public
cooning
figure though?
for you. And
Who's
let
the
me say that
public figure in it?
the public figure there, that was Donald Trump.
And other races, who's the public figure for the
Oh
corner?
no, all those folks that was singing "I will vote for Donald Trump," all of them were coons towards their own race, so Latinos.
I was more talking about public figures. Like they
I hear you.
always use
Geraldo,
But
who
but
else,
but, but,
man?
but hold on, Jock. Go ahead, Tommy Hill, so I can move on to
but
the final subject.
yeah, for sure. I'll try to be brief, man. Because it capitulates off of a lot of people's points. First and foremost, you right. If the pay right, money there, air night, and you know, D3 was right about that. You was right about that. My man AC was right about that. B3 was right about that. The thing about him putting on that suit, whatever that suit signifies, and speaking his message, you were right about that as well too. Because what it does now is get us to look at him as some ambassador for a movement. So if he's there and he's influential, then maybe I should be alone there. Maybe I should consider myself there. And maybe we should invest our time, our resources into what he's doing so we could secure his movement that he's backing. Meanwhile, we take more money and less attention on the things that need to take place on our behalf. So we need a figure like him for a demographic like his so that we could tap into their resources that should be going there and get them out that way. I think that by doing that, we help them umbrella the fact that they get to shield themselves from the fall of the reign of tyranny and keep us out there spotted without the umbrella to protect us, and they get to divest from our resources that could be going our way. I think it also helps them to see that there's a public figure out there that is willing to back them, and there's people who are willing to follow. Then there's the thing that you said, like AC said, it helps us to focus in on somebody else's problems instead of diversing into our problems in our communities. They say that, you know what, I made it out the hood. These are the ninjas that they pick out and they build up and they put wealth into their portfolio, so to speak, with their families, their lineage, their generations. And then they can then say, look, yo, I don't need to worry about the neighborhood. I don't need to worry about, I'm good. So meanwhile, you got other folks that do have this, they're worrying about their folks. So we're securing this for our folks. Our folks as a collective will be healthy, wealthy, and wise. And we're using your message, your backs, your struggles to supplant it because we're going to get you indoctrinated with ours and make it a matter. And we're going to get people from your caucuses, your demographics, your cultures, your neighborhoods, your people to come on board. And that's why when we control the airways, can you put the one picture up with the dude having the trunk open with the hood and the engine? Can you put that back on the screen?
Hold on, say that one more time about Tommy Hill.
Yeah, the hood, the guy pointing in there saying,
yeah.
So that right there, rig, that right there, propaganda. Then they got a depiction showing and illustrating the propaganda, and they're using airways to push this so that you can get the imagery. They use imagery in everything, from every product, every brand, every message, colors, shapes, imageries, pictures. They control this, and this is how they control us, because they get us indoctrinated and used to it. And they push this, then they can push it audibly with the message. Then they can push it with you backing it, you supporting it. And then they will pick somebody to rise up out of it, like AC said, so you can see, this will work if you can buy into it when it never was meant for you. So it's all master genius, and they're working it, and they have been working it all the way back since the days prior to the Holocaust. These people were very skilled at what they do, and it's purposeful, and they got control of the various assets, and that's why they're targeting social media, because they want to have control of that as well too.
Absolutely, Tommy. Absolutely, Tommy Hill. All y'all cooked on that topic. Prayers for those people over there in Gaza. Prayers for the people living in the actual interior of Israel, because it is an apartheid state, and they are straight up just. I mean, they're literally graping these Arab people over there. They're literally graping them. So prayers for those people over there.
Yeah, that's
But
messed
we
up. And my
Just
bad, Mark.
before we, oh, go ahead, my bad.
I had took a phone call. I ain't know T Hill. Everybody said the same thing.
Hey, yeah, pretty much with what you said, but look what the title says of this picture though. Everything I don't like is rigged. This engine is rigged. He's pointing to it, but then look what they caption it. A book for weird, whiny bitches. Today I was called a weird, probably a whiny ass bitch. A nigga though. They called me a nigga, but I was a weird, whiny nigga. That's how they work us. Cause I say something that goes against the imagery, the sounds that they want us to hear. That's a deep ass illustration of the book, dog. Everything I don't like is rigged. A book for weird, whiny bitches. And then it captures it by that imagery. And then it says, like, see, if you're thinking like this, then something wrong with you. You just a weird ass, whiny little bitch. You see how that work, bro? That's genius.
Absolutely.
I want to have something genius
Absolutely.
from the bottom.
No. Sorry, John. We gotta move on. So earlier this week, Dick Cheney, former vice president, former secretary of defense of the United States, he passed away. I think on Monday he passed away. Tommy Hill. Well, I think all of y'all know. Yeah, all of y'all know who the hell Dick Cheney is. This man was
absolutely
Dick Cheney, the voice
but I meant
George
the
Bush.
real Dick Cheney. That he was the shadow president of the United States of America
Yeah,
during George
ran.
Bush's term.
He
And
ran
hold
George Bush.
on, y'all. Hold on. Let me just finish this. I'm gonna let all y'all cook. Come on now. So as I was just saying, Dick Cheney was not only was he the vice president, he was the shadow president of the United States of America. He held way more power than Bush over all the levers of the White House, of the cabinet. All of them were reporting to him, not to George Bush. He was the one that came out and was saying Saddam has weapons of mass destruction, and we have to do this. We have to invade in order to safeguard American security around the world. And this is going to be great for the people of Iraq. We're bringing democracy. A million deaths later, I mean, Iraq is still pretty messed up. But shout out to Dick Cheney, man. He kicked the bucket. That's all I'm going to say about him. But keeping on Dick Cheney and regime change, the U.S., and I just brought up Dick Cheney specifically to go into this topic. The USS Gerald Ford, which is our most advanced Nimitz class aircraft carrier, it carries over 100 aircrafts on it, and I think from what I've read, over 50 F-16s are stationed on the USS Gerald Ford. Well, it's now being deployed to the Caribbean. Over the past 2 months, Donald Trump and the Navy, they've been bombing the hell out of boats down there in the Caribbean. They're claiming that they're drug boats. They've provided no evidence of that, other than just saying that that they're drug boats. You now have a cases down in Trinidad where multiple families of fishermen are stating that their family members went out on the water and they never came back weeks later. So they're assuming that something happened to them out there, and some of them are even filing cases against the United States of America. But this whole thing about drug boats coming from Venezuela is bullshit. And this thing, they keep bringing up fentanyl when they bring up Venezuela. Fentanyl is produced in Mexico. No fentanyl comes from Venezuela. None. And then even these boats, like they're little speed boats, where some of them, the most they got is like 4 engines on the back. They can't even reach St. Croix. They're not gonna reach Puerto Rico. So these boats are not coming to the United States of America. And even then, they don't have the right to just, unalive these people just because they're carrying drugs. So this is obviously, if anybody has a brain, and I brought up Dick Cheney earlier for that reason, this is regime change. This is about oil. They're about to go into Venezuela. They're going to bomb the hell out of them. Pete Hegseth, the idiot Secretary of Defense, the drunkard himself, just came out with an announcement that the Second Marine Expeditionary Force, which was stationed in the Mediterranean, is now going to also be heading for the Caribbean. I don't know if they're actually going to put boots on the ground, but I expect some type of strike to happen on land before the end of this year. But I'm gonna call it AC. AC, what's your reaction once again to the escalating tensions in the Caribbean? They've unalived over 50 people on these little dinghy boats that they call drug boats.
Yeah, it's all to set the stage, and they're following. I'm gonna say it like this, and they're kind of following the Dick Cheney, Condoleezza Rice playbook. You know what I'm saying? Just think of some people may not like Maduro, right? But Maduro they captured, interrogated, and released a plot that said, yeah, this administration sent people in to bomb its own boats to make it look like Venezuela was going to do this, and that. And you just wonder why isn't this the biggest story? Oh, because you've already set the seed that Maduro is evil. So,
Wait. Hold on. AC, this is reported news you just said?
Yes, sir. I didn't see this.
Shit. Go into that for me.
I did not see it on a YouTuber's platform talking. I actually saw that on the news. And I think it was Rachel Maddow, or either Rachel Maddow or Lawrence O'Donnell, who broke that story, who was talking about that story. And basically, Maduro captured, I think it was 6 CIA agents, right? Or this is the report he's saying, that they captured these 6 CIA agents, interrogated them, and they found, once they interrogated them and searched everything that they had, they found these bombs. They were going to plant these bombs on U.S. naval ships. One of the ships I think you just mentioned in particular, they were going to plant bombs on it while it still had Navy soldiers in it, in the hopes that some American Navy soldiers would probably die, to frame Venezuela for the attack, so then Trump can move in and bomb Venezuela, and that's the easiest path to regime change. This is what Maduro's reporting. But people, other media sources, don't want to talk about it because Maduro is a dictator. So when you talk about Gaddafi, how did Gaddafi get into power? Through regime change. Yep. How did the Ayatollah Khomeini get into power? Regime change. And then they turned dictators. So if Maduro's in power, and we did have an embargo with Venezuela over oil, something in the U.S. helped that man get into power at some point. And we thought we can get back those contracts before we started to really look into renewables. So at the end of the day, for me, man, if we looking to go back to all the things that these people are saying, you got to go back to the sources where you found the richest, most useful crude oil. So, and to the fentanyl comment, yes, Mexico makes a lot of fentanyl, but their fentanyl is considered dirty fentanyl. China is the place that all refined fentanyl comes from, because that's medical grade fentanyl. This country brings that in because you can actually get a prescription for fentanyl for certain types of pain. So it does have its medical use, and then there's the dirty stuff that Mexico is producing, where you could see the little documentaries where they're taking the plants, grinding them up, cooking it, and then it turns into the powder and all of this other stuff. And they tell you can't touch it, breathe it in, blah, 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 blah. So at the end of the day, it's basically like, we allow a certain amount to come in, but we don't want the dirty stuff to come in. Why not use it at all? What was wrong with the painkillers that we had before? They're not fast enough. They're not addictive enough. What is it? And this is where, when fentanyl was starting to be used in medical painkillers, if you go back and look at many of the reports from the early 2000s or the mid 2000s, you will see when fentanyl became part of the medical pain prescription, this is when the pain prescription outbreak broke out, where people were getting addicted to painkillers. That's because it had fentanyl in it. So just keep things like that in mind, and just to understand how dirty this government can be at times. Although globally, this is probably the only place you'll have, if you're an extremely poor person, to becoming a rich person. That's capitalism. But there's a dirty side to it. And that's where I land my plane.
No, absolutely. But there's no, and you said a lot there, AC, but there's absolutely no fentanyl coming from Venezuela at all. At least, well, I don't know. At least from what I've read and what I've seen be reported by these different government agencies and these different independent groups. Because I ain't never been to Venezuela. So what they saying is there's no fentanyl coming from Venezuela, and the reason for these boat strikes is pretty stupid and not and pretty costly and probably illegal. But Tommy Hill, I'm gonna come to you next. What's your take on the fact that it seems like this is about to be another Iraq or Libya or Afghanistan in the Caribbean, my backyard?
Nah, absolutely. I mean, and before I go into that, man, I want to also make mention, because I know AC said it too. He said it when he was talking about Turkey and, the involvement in boxing. Remember, Turkey also had one dude, some figure that I think was from Israeli. I think he had his was supposed to have, I'll say allegedly, was supposed to have kidnapped and taken two of his daughters. And
whoa,
yeah, I forgot which figure it was. I don't know if it's the prime minister or whatever it was, or whoever it was, but he's a political figure, and two of his daughters, and he has some nice looking daughters, was supposed to be taken under ill intentions by him, taken into his custody and whatnot. So I think it was him, or it could have been one of the ambassadors over there from where he is, but it was him probably procuring the two girls or something like that. but that got swept under the rug too. I forgot how that story played out, but it was about one of
Sharky
the
was trying to procure these two young ladies.
I believe that's what the story, the release was, that this guy had two of his daughters, and I guess over to their country without his permission or against his will.
Sound like kidnapping to me, but go ahead, Tommy
Yeah,
Hill.
but
How you
going back,
tying this to the regime change?
no, well, not to the regime change. That's just going back to what he had said about the involvement of them in boxing and how suspect they are as a nation, and how we believe stuff that are like allegations and some stuff that actually do happen, and then it'll never go under the rug. Well, this stuff is happening, and it gets under the rug. And what it is a transfer of power and wealth. Like what they're trying to do is trying to transfer the power and wealth and regimes, and that's what they use political coups and changes for. Like the people that Trump is working along with and working for, they're trying to shift the power of wealth, and they're trying to do it by taking over key aspects and key, how could you say, key allies and land masses that are filthy rich with resources, and they're working in congruence with one another to try to get this taken care of so that they can place the power, the shift of wealth. So everything that we hear, you notice how when it's something major, it's under the banner or under the cover of some nonsense that's going on that really don't matter. That's the smoke screen. Like in the movie Disclosure, they talked about this type of stuff. Like when something big or major is happening, they usually inundate us with something that's really far trivial, but is controversial and stuff that we will feed into to get our attention distracted, and they can go on and do what they do. So this right here does not surprise me in the least. It is a tactic that I could see them doing, and it is a tactic that hell, bro, like, honestly, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be 100% honest. I seen what happened to the World Trade Center. I seen how that building fell. That building was made to sustain any type of damage or any type of shake so that nothing would mess with its foundation. And the only way to take it down would to be to demolize it. And if you watch it fall, you can see explosions popping, pop, 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 pop.
God damn, Tommy Hill.
No plane can go up in there. Man, I seen planes fly going full speed on the ground before it took the runway, hit telephone poles, rip they stuff apart.
You brought it full circle, Tommy Hill.
Yeah, man, I don't trust these Mickey Frickies. And I put in the chat, absolute power corrupts absolutely. These people are corrupt folks. Every one of us is flawed. We're humans. We're subject and prone to make errors, dog. But some of us live to make the error and make the error benefit us and condemn and tear up other folks. It's at disposal. We are just but sheep led to the slaughter all the time for them and to their greater good of what they want. And they will use whatever they can and whoever they can to push this process across. And they will do whatever is necessary. So would they put like AC just said, put a bomb on the ship, send it out there, and then have it blow up just so they can pin it on somebody? Hell yeah, they would. Hell yeah, they would. Will they use fear to get us to sign off on rights? Hell yeah, they will. They've done it before, and they will continue to do it. They put a buffoon in office that never had any vast information or education on political science, and yet this nigga who has had multiple businesses collapse has a history of harassment and freaking prejudice and cases of racism into the office. This nigga told people to go storm the White House. They did. This nigga permitted treason and collusion. He got a second term. Would this fit the bill? Hell yeah, man. I believe
live to make the error.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's believable. It's definitely believable.
Yo, hey, listen, guys.
I
Before
mean,
you go, CBS cooked on it. CBS has a video, a YouTube video, and this is CBS News. Um, there's the French news, right? France covered it. Newsweek has an article. CNN did an article. The Independent did an article. Um, the New York Times India, the Times of India did an article. You feel what I'm saying? The AP did an article. Al Jazeera did an article, and that's just from the primary Google search. So yeah, this government tried, but this is what Maduro's claiming, that they captured and foiled this thing. But again, when we look at how everything got ratcheted up after the Charlie Kirk unaliving. Then look at his wife, and then the rumors about JD Vance, and look at how she hugging this dude with the tight leather pants on, showing her bottom and a coochie. Like, lady, why is you dressed like that? And you're with the vice president. You're supposed to be a grieving widow, and you coming out in the sexiest, like, yeah, I'm free now. Like, come get it, boys. Look at the way she hugged Trump. And then Trump makes that face like he made back in the day when he was at that Jeffrey Epstein party. Like, yeah, I'm about to tap this. Nah, not that one. He's biting his bottom lip.
I deleted that other one, man. God damn.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, bro, listen, man. If it looked like a duck, quack like a duck, I'm going to call it a duck, not a mallard.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's not very far-fetched. I mean, we literally had the whole Iran-Contra thing. They pumped drugs into the black community, and then a decade later, they passed a bill to start locking niggas up by the thousands for years over dime bags. So, I mean, absolutely, I agree. This could be there could be a false flag element at play in this. D. Frilio, then I'm gonna come to Ja.
Yeah.
D.
Basically, what Thomas Hill was talking about is what we call in the military as collateral damage. This is what they do. They cause collateral damage because the bigger picture is bigger than those innocent individuals. The same thing that happened with 9/11, the same thing that happened with the Gaddafi situation, the same thing that happened with the Kuwait situation. There was a bunch of collateral damage, but it was a bigger picture. And this is what they do in order to get the message or take over, because what we do as a country, and it's kind of upsetting to a lot of other people. That's the reason why so many people hate Americans. And what we do to other country is we bully them. We bully them so we can take over or become an ally. They in debt to us as an ally. So we do things and put them in a situation where they will need to call on the United States, because either their country is so beat up that they have no other choice, or we took over that land, and so now you are part of the United States, and so we have that territory. This is what we do, and this is the reason why one of the reasons why I said I will never travel out of the state unless I have absolutely no other choice. I will never travel outside of the United States, because I know that there's a lot of other countries around the world that do not like American people. And just because you have nothing to do with it, all they need to know is that you're an American. I've seen it time and time again happen to a lot of people. You'd be surprised how many people go on a vacation and never make it back, and nobody know what happened. It's because they was American. They was in another country that people don't like Americans. So I mean, this is what the regime did, and like what Thomas Hill was saying with the whole World Trade Center. Anybody with common sense would know. You have a high-rise skyscraper that got hit on the 110th floor, and it started collapsing from the bottom. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Even with all of the burning and everything, the first thing that will happen if that building was going to collapse, the first thing that will happen was the top of that building would tip over. And then maybe some other pieces will fall off, but the top of that building is going to tip over first. The top of that building never tipped. The top of the building, even when that building collapsed, it collapsed straight down. It never leaned to one side or the other. It collapsed straight down. And that means that it was taken out from the bottom. If you ever deal with demolition,
Hold
like
on, AC.
I have,
I'll let you go briefly next.
yeah,
But
like
let Free finish.
if you ever specialize in demolition, like I did, that was part of my MOS in the military. I was a combat engineer. One of the things we did was we blew things up. We blew up minefields. We blew up tanks. We blew up a lot of different things. When you experiment in demolition, the way you take out a structure is from the bottom. You take out the foundation. That's how you take out a structure. You never attack the structure from the top because you're just going to knock off a piece of it. You want to collapse the entire structure, and you collapse it by taking out the foundation. That's how you know that it was a setup, and they used the plane as a diversion. That plane was a diversion. The main explosion came from the bottom. But if you don't know about, if you caught up in a moment and you don't know about demolition, you wouldn't have caught on to it. You would have said, oh, the plane took the building down. But literally minutes after the building went down, there was people talking about it. That was not the plane that caused that building to go down. That building should have never came down the way it did. But I land my plane right there.
I just wanted to piggyback and basically my comment.
Be brief, so Jock can go next.
Yeah, and now that you explained your military background, I'm going to ask you just this other question. Based on what people don't know unless you're here in New York, we know that the World Trade Center just wasn't those two buildings. It was an entire plaza that had building 4, building 5, 6 and 7 is the joint are the towers. Building 3, the only two structures that weren't affected was building 2 and building 1 because those are real short and they're on the complete opposite side. They're across the West Side Highway. So the thing is this: you can explain to me about that, but you cannot explain it. You being a demolition expert, if a building is collapsing and it doesn't tip over in either direction, do the other buildings surrounding it, do they collapse as well?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Because we've all seen in Vegas where they took down the casino and stuff like that, how it's in a heavily populated area and that only that one building drops. Why did 4, 5, and 3 drop?
Because all of them was taken out at the same exact time.
Okay, there you go. And that's the only thing I wanted to say. So I know I'm not crazy.
Including the building that was the smallest but was the furthest away, that did not get impacted at all by any kind of quote unquote plane attack. It fell down in the same fashion. The one that had all the information and documents concerning everything that was proceeding to the restorations and work that was being done to the 2 towers that initially went down.
No, absolutely. Great points from all y'all. Ja, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give your take on the situation happening down in the Caribbean with Venezuela, and you could tie it into how you might feel about regime change in general with Dick Cheney and the past administrations.
I'm not as educated as y'all on it. Like, so it's a layman's opinion. It sound like you said oil, that makes sense. It sound like what they accusing them of the drugs is like they just spending that. That's what they want to do. Like they want to take over Venezuela. That's what it sound like to me. Like I said, I'm layman. This a layman's opinion. It sound like they want to
Well,
take over Venezuela.
Senator Lindsey Graham actually, actually, a Fox News host said, I mean, in Fox News, they're known for just saying the most crazy, outrageous shit. He said that Venezuela should become the 51st state, and Lindsey Graham just laughed and said, you know, you might be right.
Wouldn't
So
it
they
be
got that shit on their
53rd though?
mind.
I thought it'd be 53rd, but like yeah, that's what I think about the Venezuela thing. Like that's and I didn't even know they said that. Like they just trying to take that over, like so they could sell
Well,
drugs there. And then it's
well,
like
me,
um
Venezuela and my home island, St. Croix. My home island, St. Croix. We used to have the Hovenza refinery, and it was the largest refinery in the Western Hemisphere. And we had a partnership with the Venezuelan government-owned oil crude company, and they would send us over 500,000 barrels of crude every single day, and we would refine 500,000 barrels of crude every day, and refine it into petrol, and get all the microplastics that's valuable from it. So
that's what
yeah,
it
they
sound
they
like.
want
They
that
trying to
relationship
take that.
back.
Yeah, they're trying to take that. And then when it comes to like regime change, like I feel like because somebody was talking about people hating Americans all over the world. I just and then T Hill was talking about. I think that was Free that was saying that. And then T Hill was talking about how long this been going on, like since before the Holocaust or first Holocaust. And it's like that's what made me think. It made me think like, damn, you know what? Because when the feds is real heavy in the hood, it just felt like that's kind of OD to be. So I feel like what make us think that it stopped? Because I feel like that's just kind of like something that nobody's saying. Is we a shit like when Fred Hampton and like died and people like that. Like what made us think that they stopped doing it? And what's their real agenda? Like I feel like it's beyond just like power and money and stuff. Like it gotta be something else. Cause I feel like they desperately be wanting to know what's going on in environments that they don't want to be in themselves, so they can know how to like control and stuff. Cause it like boxing been like involved with any of this political stuff is weird. And like, why would you want to really like with the Saudi like kind of putting a lot of money into boxing? Like, what other reason would you really want to have to kind of blow a lot of your money unless you just trying to get intel on the people who? Cause boxing is one of them sports where it's like it's more of American dream type sport than any other sport because it don't really matter who you are as long as you could like step in the ring, then you got an opportunity. And I feel like they would want to go after people like that, um, to target the propaganda to, because those the type of people who not going to really let nobody control them or lead them like a sheep. They going to, stand for what they believe in. Cause it just take that mindset. Somebody earlier was saying like the type of person it take to even be a boxer. Like, so I feel like they targeting them type of environments. Cause that's what they mostly concerned about, stopping them from whatever they trying to do. I just don't know like why you. It seemed like you trying to or maybe it just ain't work. Maybe that's a part of the propaganda too, where like I was in the mindset of thinking that they was already supposed to have took over all the lands in the world, but maybe that's not true. And then so because it seemed like they still trying to take over stuff. It's like what else left you got to take over? Everything should have been taken over before any of us and that's alive even knew. Like with the slave trades and all of that. All of that stuff happened before any of us was born, so they should have been able to take over the world back then. So what is they doing now? It just looks stupid. I don't even know how, even if you got power and you like a 5% person, like how you going to even get away from the stuff? Like if you trying to poison the poor people, you gonna wind up taking some of that poison too. Like if you selling crack, like technically you a crackhead, just a low level crackhead, cause you gonna have to inhale that crack and get high off of it. Just cause you ain't smoking it don't mean you're not a crackhead, cause you still in taking it like secondhand. You a secondhand crackhead.
Okay, Ja. Well, I did take some good points from what you were saying. It could be true. The Saudis could just be using Riyadh season as an intelligence service to gather intelligence on what we doing over here. And I definitely, at least what with T Hill brought up and what with AC brought, I didn't even know. I know the CIA are conducting operations down there, but I didn't know about the mercenaries getting captured or the false flag operation in there. That's pretty wild to me. B3, my brother,
Yo,
what's your reaction to the fact we might be going to war very soon as a result of some Dick Cheney tactics from Donald the retard Trump?
I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised. So who is the war going to be against?
Venezuela. We're
Yeah.
currently sending the USS Gerald Ford down there. We already have an attack submarine in position, multiple destroyers. One just docked in Trinidad and Tobago, and we have the count is currently 4,000 Marines in counting, and they say that's going to increase. Oh, and they've already killed 50 people on boats that they claim are drug boats.
Where were the boats?
They were in the Caribbean.
Yeah. I mean, you already know the U.S. military, they don't play around. And, with Trump being in charge, he can wield them as he sees fit. So, unfortunately, man, it's going to be some lost life, dealing with Trump, man, because he's very reckless. So, yeah, man, it's just Trump doing Trump things, man. What was the situation with Venezuela? Did they not pay us our money? What happened?
Well, Venezuela is currently ran by Nicolas Maduro. He is a dictator by every metric. He stole the last election. This man Maduro called the election when only 20% of the vote was counted. That shit is hilarious, man. That man said, "Nah, fuck
That's
that.
no different
I'm
from
not."
then when Bush and Trump did what they did.
Yeah. It's not too different, but we at least at that time had a functioning court system that told Donald Trump to shut that shit up and continue counting votes. Um, but but Maduro, he stole the last election. I believe it was in 2023. Uh, Trump has been trying to get him out of power for years, all the way back to his first term. They tried to orchestrate a coup where they had 50 mercenaries, some of whom were Americans. They tried to have him go in there and grab Maduro and get him back to the U.S. so that he could be arrested and put in front of a court for, in their words, narco terrorism. Well, I mean, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think they're just interested in getting them up out of there so that they can get their roots into Venezuela, because China has made Venezuela into one of its bases in the Caribbean. They already got Trinidad, they got Brazil, they got Jamaica, Grenada. Shit, Dominica is about to fall because they're broke as hell. So yeah, geopolitics. Everybody getting involved.
You threw me off with the Dominica. Is that Dominican Republic or is that somewhere
No,
else?
that's the island of Dominica. The Dominican Republic is on Hispaniola. It's they're two entirely different things.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
nice. Never heard
Dominica
of
is full
anybody
of
from
black
Dominica.
people. They're full of
Oh,
black
really?
people. Yeah.
Okay, I might need to. That is so. That's not a vacation destination type spot.
I mean, it's pretty nice. I've been to Dominica when I was a child. I went to the White River. I went to the mud spas they got. It's pretty nice out there, but the people are a bit funny. The men are like, if they don't get their boxers ironed in the morning, B3, it's over with. They coming in swinging.
Oh,
Like I feel bad for those women over there.
they sassy. They're
I ain't
pampered
gonna,
men.
nah, they not sassy. No, no, they not sassy. Just the opposite. No, they like all they the when you talk about like the cartoon version of an alpha male, that's a that's a fucking Dominican man. They just like they're over the top. They're like Nigerians but meaner, if that makes sense. B3, but nah, man, this was a great show, brothers. This was a great show. We got into some pretty touchy topics, but we had some great discussions. I'm glad I had each of you up here. I'm gonna come to my co-host, or no, I'm not. I'm gonna come to AC last. D Free, give me your last words, brother, if you have any. I
Hey, we're gonna be live Sunday, and you already know y'all can catch me over there at BBO. You can catch me on Fridays or Saturdays with Thomas from the Bronx. And great show, Marky Dan. Appreciate you having me up, and I will be back the next time you live.
most def, man. I appreciate that. Tommy Hill, my OG. You got any final words?
Yeah, man. I think that when it's all said and done, man, we got to take a look in the mirror and we got to see what really matters to us. And do we, as a people, value us as a resource, and in particular, our own resource? Because a lot of times we quick to judge and be with everything except for us. And we're quick to do things differently when it applies to us, but we have to treat one another with love and respect like other cultures do for their people. And likewise, we have to treat one another as cultures with respect. And if we had greater respect and love for one another, we'd have a better chance to combat a lot of the tyranny that goes out, man. But because it don't happen in our backyard or in our home, we say it don't happen, and that's how somebody can say, when it's all said and done, what I'm going to live this life for me. And with that, man, I hope that people that are oppressed get to find peace. Those under the hand of tyranny get to find justice and judgment that is not, you know, at the behest of their own well-being and their own existence. And I hope that we can always have a platform and a place where we can speak our mind and be respected for our opinions and respected for the beauty that we provide this world we stay in, and that we can learn to appreciate that this world is also like a home. It needs to be cleaned and taken care of and free of all the damn pesticides that is politics that benefit others and not all. So with that, man, shout out to the panel, Marky Dan, the historian, AC, my main man Ja, B3, and D Free. You can catch D Free, like he said, on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and every damn day on BBO. And hey, y'all have a wonderful day, man. Be easy out there.
I appreciate you, Tommy Hill. My brother Ja, you know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for coming up here, cooking. I appreciate you, man. You got great takes, especially yeah, I like your takes Because you, even though I don't like, I think you focus on semantics a little bit too much. You do break down topics, and I like to hear how you break things down verbally and mentally. So, Ja, got any final words for the panel, brother?
I gotta really see what the semantics thing is and the research that, and then I see if it's true or not. If I agree, like, do I? But probably if it's true, then it's probably because I'm only going off of what I could actually speak on. That's why I was gonna say like it's a good show where it's very educational and I still got a safe space to speak on topics, even if I'm not as educated as everybody else. So that's pretty cool. And when it comes to like T Hill was talking about like master genius plans and stuff, like when whoever ready for what come up with that master genius plan from the bottom, and I could trust you. Whatever you're trying to do, you want to stop this stuff from happening. I'm with whatever. And this, I'm not by myself. I ain't the only one. But it got to be something that makes sense. And we could do whatever you're trying to do to stop all this nonsense. That's all I'm on. Peace and blessings.
I appreciate you, brother. B3 picks. B3 picks. Any final words?
Yeah, man. Dope show. Salute to the good brother AC, Marky. You know, great work as always. Shout out to the Sports Talk Network, the People's Network. Hey, we going green, baby. And appreciate everybody that's in the chat. Show love, supporting the channel, helping the channels grow. We definitely working. And yeah, we'll be back. Salute.
I appreciate you, my brother. AC,
Yes,
my
sir.
co-host, my
Yes,
first
sir.
mate. Any final words?
Great cook tonight, man. Everybody had solid points. Even the young brother that pulled up. Yeah, he had some solid points because I'm a, I'm a person that always wants to hear a young person's perspective on what they have to face because they're the ones that's, getting ready to either entering or getting ready to enter uh, or try to get themselves established in a world that's about to change fast. Like when AI and automation come really, really online like that, like what jobs are going to be there for them? How do you prepare for that? What college courses do you prepare for when there's this big income gap? You feel what I'm saying? Are there going to be trade schools that are going to start to teach humans how to write code so we can really master AI and master quantum computing and everything else that's coming down the line? So it's important, even though these are political discussions, they will have impact on these young people's lives because we're talking about the things that will affect all of our lives within the next 5, 10, maybe 15, 20 years. So, with that being said, the topics that we discussed tonight are super informative to me, and it's putting a thumbtack to say, all right, if you want to go back and you want to hear something impactful that we discussed long before all of this stuff started to happen, you can go to this channel called Marky Dan. This guy Marky Dan has this YouTube
Democracy
show, and
101. Democracy 101.
Democracy 101. But I'm just saying, if I was telling somebody as a spectator, I'd be like, yeah, he got this channel and everything, and he's got people on the panel that are not trying to give us an agenda. They'll debate on certain points and things like that, but the debate is the actual debates that we wish our politicians would have when we watch these shows on MSNBC and CNN where they have these people that they invite to a round table or square table type of discussion and things like that. Why are they not talking about the real things like these guys are talking about? Yeah, there's a censorship, whatever, but that censorship right there is crazy because those guys, exclude the profanity, but those guys were on point with everything that they were saying. They were saying the things that the American public really believed, because it was a diverse group of men, regardless of what complexion or whatever they are. These were a diverse group of men who all have like different perspectives but can agree on certain aspects. So this type of cook was a great cook, a great show. Um, it was a good topic for the panel that we had today, and everybody that pulled up. And big shout out to everybody that pulled up, and was part of this discussion, and even everybody that's in the chat, and everybody that'll watch it on the playback. This is what America needs to be talking about. We need to be informing everybody of these things. And when we were having a discussion about Zoran Memdani, his huge win in New York, it changes the scope of politics. No, he's not the first Muslim to ever be elected into any type of political office. You feel what I'm saying? But he's the first, Muslim that's been elected to be mayor of a major city in the United States.
I mean, imagine that in that city, 24 years after 9/11.
You feel what I'm saying? A Muslim is the mayor of a city that was attacked by extremist Muslims, so to speak, in air quotes. So at the end of the day, that tells you how New York is. Yes, sometimes it's a fucked up place to live, but it's also a great place to live because we understand the people. And we had a great discussion about Zora Memdani, his policies, where we agree, where we disagree, and things like that. So yeah, it was a great show tonight. And that's where I land my plane.
Absolutely. AC, thank you once again for coming up. Thank you to everybody that came through to cook on these topics with me, as well as the people in the chat, man. I appreciate every last one of you so much. I try to invest in this channel wherever I can. I have a very busy work and home schedule. Right now, I'm still at my job, and it is pretty late at night. I gotta walk home, but it's a nice walk. I live in a nice area. Um, but still, I don't like being here that late. But I'm gonna try to come back with another political episode before the week is out. We're gonna be having two shows this weekend. F1 is going to Brazil. The Sao Paulo GP. So we're gonna have that on Sunday, and then obviously we're gonna have College Football Zone on Saturday. I'm trying to see when is the Repco Supercar touring. They having a Prix, I believe, this weekend or the next. I'm gonna check in on that. I'm gonna inform y'all. But man, great cook, great show. A lot of touchy subjects, but things that need to be talked about. What's happening in Israel is not okay. And anybody who at this time could stand up there. I don't care how dumb you are. I don't care how much money they offer you. Anybody who could stand up there and break themselves like that for a bunch of I mean, I'm gonna call the state of Israel what they are. I'm not saying Israeli people necessarily, but the state of Israel advocates for the right to grape. They advocate for the right to unalive people just because they.
Marky, your volume went out.
AC, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you now.
Yeah, my bad. I got a phone call. But I mean, these people advocate for the right to unalive other human beings just because they advocate for just lawlessness. The idea that I can take that this human being
invested their entire life. Their parents invested their entire life into this land. Their parents invested their entire life into this land. But just because you're some magic man 1,000 years ago told y'all that y'all are the chosen people of a god, that gives you the right to say fuck the law, man, fuck whatever deeds and papers y'all got to this land. Y'all gonna get the fuck up off this land, or I'm gonna put a bullet in you. That's what these people advocate for. And so anybody who could stand up and say that I stand behind y'all 100% no matter what, I'm gonna be your voice, I'm done with you. I'm done. It's over with. Moving away from that individual, man. Other than that, this was a great show.
Yeah, I just want to give
we
one
need-
more shout out. One more
Yeah, go
important
ahead.
shout out that I definitely forgot.
Good.
To the Black conservative Tony's Review. To have more people like you up
I
there.
think Tony is Cuban. I think he's a white Cuban.
No, he's yeah. I don't know what I'm just gonna call. I'm just gonna say the conservative. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We need to have more conservatives like you up here. As you can see on the playback game, we weren't attacking nobody. We were just having a great discussion. So yeah, big shout out to Tony's Review.
Most def. Tony's a great guy. Me and him, we've had a lot of battles in the past. And I hope to see him up here more the next time we do a show. But like I said, man, great show. Everybody in here, please smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And we're gonna catch you next time, okay? Peace.
Peace.
I don't want peace. I want problems always. You are a failure. You are a failure. You can never make it. You can never. You cannot make it. You need to be cutting grass, making this place fresh for the actual footballers that want to use this place. You are tired. You are here. What have you done? Useless. Me with my pregnancy, I'm better than you. Idiot.